Just want to see if we live first. Looks like we are live. Checking the sound real quick.
Okay.
I forgot to pair my headphones. Oh well. Testing, 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 testing. All right. So, how y'all doing today?
What's going on?
Y'all just watching me?
Oh no, I'm queuing up my tabs. You know how I do. You know how I do.
Okay, I was gonna say that because sometimes like I'll be looking at the screen, and I'm actually like looking at something else on my computer, but it looks like that I'm just looking directly at y'all, like just staring at y'all, and I don't really see it until like I look back on the podcast when I come back. It's just funny how technology works. I promise y'all I don't be staring at y'all though. I promise.
It's
Cap.
okay. I feel like I look good enough to be stared at sometimes.
Wait,
You know.
did you just say cap?
Wait, not straight out the bottle. Yeah,
I
I
said
said
no. I
cap.
said that's okay. I sometimes I feel like I need to. I look good enough to be stared at.
Oh yeah, I get you, David. I get you, David. I think Beast was trying to.
Ooh,
He's trying to talk about me. Those are
he trying
fighting.
to talk about you.
Yeah, those are fighting.
He would never. He would never. Oh lordy. Okay, hold on. Sleep tiny. I gotta do one thing. I'll do one thing.
Your dog named Tiny?
Y'all need to see me put my. No, the camera's name is Tiny. It's an AI camera, so you can talk to it.
Camera named Tiny.
It's called it's OBS Tiny 2. Hi Tiny. Tiny said, "Don't disrespect." Yeah.
Hey, Beast,
Tiny said, "Don't disrespect the set."
Never.
Your volume pretty low right now too.
Oof.
I don't know
Wow.
why. Huh?
I don't know. I hear him.
Nah, it's pretty low.
That's
It
weird.
was louder
Say
at
something,
first.
Beast.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay, I think that's better. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
I
ready.
didn't change anything. I'm just on my
Uh-uh.
headset now. What about now?
Yeah, your mic too far back. You
I
louder
hear
now.
you.
Yeah, you good now. But it like I said, it was
Oh,
low.
okay. My fault. My fault.
Yeah. um. You know what I'm saying? Just want to make sure we straight, cause you know, I know last time you know, you was like biting and everything, and I ain't know, you know, you was looking like a robot and like the Exorcist at the same time. So, but that's besides the point, right? You know, that's besides the point.
That was only to the other level.
You know, it was on me though. You know, my system was just weak. I
Lord, that's all.
had to fix my internet. You know.
Yeah, no, y'all good. Y'all good. We all got it working out. We know.
You know. So yeah, yeah. I'm finna just
Yeah.
send this link onto the onto the Twitter X real quick, but oops,
Uh,
I said the wrong message.
if anybody's looking for your neighborhood brat doll, come holler at your girl Snag. Don't I look like an adorable brat doll, y'all?
Let's go.
Shoot. Okay, let's see if I did what I needed to do with my little. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a time to be had today, y'all. A time to be had.
He says she litty.
Getting let me my air. Hold on, before I even set myself up, let me turn my air on, cause when I drink.
Waterfalls.
Money appears. Yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. I know that people be liking other people to get straight to the point when they look at YouTube videos. So yeah, we're gonna get straight to the point. Stop wasting precious time on this amazing Saturday morning or afternoon, wherever you are at. But thank y'all for tuning in to the GPC Podcast. Let's do our intros on FrayJ Gameplay. You can follow me at FrayJ Gameplay on all social media platforms. I'll mostly be on YouTube or Twitter X. Definitely follow me on Twitter X for all the updates that's going on with me. Any of the live streams, any announcements with the GPC Podcast. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy my gameplay. The ones that I am posting. Who want to do the intro next?
That hence the name of the, gameplay community podcast. That's what we're all about. Anyways, it's your boy Hero Beast. I'm in the building. You guys can always find me on Hero Beast on all social media platforms. Yes, I have not been live in a couple of days, but the Beast will return back, and I always want to give Freddie J Gameplay, the gameplay podcast, the possibility and happiness that this joy brings everybody on Saturday mornings.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Snacks, and you can find me on Debbie Snacks 85 on Twitter, and I still call it Twitter. You can find me on social media platforms Debbie_Snacks.gaming, or you can find me Debbie_Snacks on your consoles. You can always, find me here on the Gameplay Podcast. Follow, like, and share. You gotta look at Beast. He be having his videos where he's very informative, and he be staying on like the latest games. Or you can go look out Freddy, because Freddy is on a predecessor, and he is like the predecessor king. If there had a throne, he has his butt firmly placed upon it. And I'm Snacks. I just do everything.
Turn up. I bet.
And we appreciate y'all watching.
Legit, they be on their
Definitely do that.
Debbie and B's been really live streaming a lot too, or at least they've been putting up some videos. So definitely check them out.
Yes.
And then yeah. So Debbie, we got some topics for today. Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Oh, we got some topics today.
What's
we definitely do. We're gonna discuss this. Everybody, might as well pull out the big guns now, because PlayStation is celebrating their 30th anniversary with a blast from the past. The PlayStation 5 Pro consoles, along with their controllers, the DualSense and DualSense Edge, and with the PS Portal accessory, all in one PS colorway, including the original PlayStation color. And everybody who is an OG, y'all understand, y'all know. So do you guys think that the new / nostalgic look is gonna get the people?
Hell yeah, I think it's gonna get the people. Everybody loves that colorway, especially when you release it on modern consoles. Would it make a person buy a PS5 Pro? I don't know. But Everything else though look good on a Portal especially. I like the Portal. I like the controller. I might have to just buy the controller flat out. Um, itself, but yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. That colorway is like a very underrated colorway. It's better than
Yeah.
these systems that we got now. They're all just like black or
Yeah,
white.
I feel like the gray would be easier to like manage and stuff. And but the only downside is there's only they have they're digitally marked because they're only gonna have like I think 123,000 consoles, I do believe.
Oh, really?
And
Really?
yeah, yeah, they said that they're for the anniversary special one. I want to double check, but yeah, they're it's so nice. Um, that's gonna be hard, like, ooh, because it's a limited edition. And if you look, hold on, I want to see if y'all look at it, the accessories they have for cord control and stuff, it is in the original PlayStation. Like the buttons, they added the color buttons back to the controller, and everybody who like the nostalgia of it all. The cord, that's what made me like my heart palpitate a little bit. The cord, even though it's still the USB cord, it is the style of the original PlayStation cord when you plug in your controller. I'm just in. I said, y'all know I said it. I admit I said I was not gonna get it. I said the only way I'll get something is if the GTA comes out. But they did this to me, and I'm looking at it hard. Like I'm gonna at least make an effort to try. I may not get it. I may not get it, but I'm gonna make a vast effort to try. Oh my goodness. It has if y'all looking at the anniversary console and you don't feel moved, then you wasn't an original baby. You was
Legit.
not an original baby.
And she did say last stream that if the PS5 Pro came out in a different color, red or something, she would get it. So I guess this is the one for her now.
I played the original when it first came out. Imagine my mama had four kids, so we're all like, I'm 39, I got 30. Well, I got a 40-year-old sister. I'm 39, a 38, and 37. Imagine all four of us little kids playing on. We take turns because you know how it goes with controllers and whatnot. Playing on that little square, like the gray color won me. It got me. When I seen that, I said, "What is this?" And then the controller looks so good. Freddie, you a controller guy. I know you be loving them dual sense. What do you think about it?
Honestly, the the regular DualSense, it's crazy because everything that I like that I think that looks the best are things that I already have. So I think out of all of the five products, the OG PS5, the original DualSense, and the PlayStation Portal, I think those three look the best in this
Mm-hmm.
colorway, especially that DualSense. But I don't get regular DualSense no more, like cause of stick drift. So it's like I'm so
Yeah.
everything that I think looks the best I already own and I already have, and I'm probably not. I might just get the DualSense just because, just so I can have that colorway. But it's like still again, it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be somebody
So
else's
you said the
controller.
nostalgia didn't. You said the nostalgia didn't get you. In other words.
It did, cause I ain't gonna lie, I like it. Like I like the colorways. I like the buttons. I like the colorways. The ones that look the best though. Like I don't want to get a DualSense and then hand it to somebody else because they're the guest over and I'm gonna be using my DualSense Edge. You know what I'm saying? Like no, that's mine. I don't want you to
Oh
have
no.
no. Don't be putting your
Sorry.
fingers in
Guests
that.
don't get privileges in my guests don't get privileges in my household. I'm the
Legit.
queen in this castle.
Legit. Unless I buy it and I have that as my backup, when my DualSense die or something like that, and then I give the white controller to the guest. I don't know, but the DualSense Edge colorway is well, at least with the PS1 colorway, it's growing on me. So most likely I am going to get that because I need another DualSense Edge anyway, and
Yeah.
it does solve the problem that it's not white no more, but give or take, that's okay. The PS5 Pro, it looks okay, but I don't know. Like That's like the least aesthetic pleasing out of all other products, all the PlayStation products in its colorway to me. I don't know why. It just look basic. I don't know. Um, it's
I wonder something.
I think it's because that those the three stripes like it don't look as clean as the original PS5. Um, like I
I'm
think
talking
the
about PS1.
PS5 Pro white, the regular white one, it looks better than this PS1 colorway. But give or take, either way it go, that's just kind of nitpicking. I really do
And
like.
I like everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's why I like what I like about this. Like, um, but my curiosity, because I know the one with the stripes down the thicker one, the taller one. I know that one is the one that has the 120. I wonder if the other one is going to be a limited amount of consoles as well. I want to look into that
Most
because I
likely they
know
are.
for
My bad.
I wonder is it gonna be like the same? Oh no! Please, we tit for tat here. We go back and forth in trade discussions. Do you think that it's gonna be? I wonder if it's gonna be the same amount. Cause I don't want that little. I don't want the other one. I would rather have Big Baby, like cause. If I'm gonna pay for something that for my nostalgia kick and my nostalgia urgings to be quenched, I'm gonna go full out.
Right.
I want the one that looks so different that everybody's gonna be like, you turn your head like, oh, how people be checking out. Ooh, okay, I see you. So, but I really do like. I don't know. The nostalgia got me. I'm one of them people that if a good game that I played when I was a kid comes out again, I'm gonna enjoy it.
I'm not gonna lie that I really do like the Portal, like in this colorway. The Portal looks.
You always like the Portals though, so that's not a surprise.
I mean, I like all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I play out of anything. You know what I'm saying? The DualSense Edge is the like. Of course, I turn on my PlayStation, but the DualSense Edge is like my biggest thing out of all these products. But I don't know, something about the Portal. It feels nostalgic. It feels old because it got the PS1 colorway, but it's like it's such new technology, like that it feels like it's mixing the old with the new, but it's doing it in a very pleasing way, like aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just the Portal looks freaking amazing in this colorway. I don't know, it looks amazing to me. But yeah, who knows? I don't know what I'm gonna get, when I'm gonna get it. Like I am. This is what I was saying. Like last podcast before. If PlayStation didn't have these accessories, we wouldn't even be getting this. You know what I'm saying? If PlayStation didn't have the the mid-gen refresh, we wouldn't be getting all these products. You know what I'm saying? This colorway. It'd just be the PlayStation with
That's
the
right.
controller.
You definitely said that.
Yeah, so it's like now it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So now one question. What is the PS5 Pro and the PS Portal, is it matte or is it gloss? That's what I wanted to know too, because you can't really tell if it's matte or gloss.
It looks like it's matte because the DualSense Edge, the middle of it and the touchpad, I think, well, especially the middle of it, where the thumbstick is at, that is gloss.
Yeah, it is.
So I think the sides are matte, which looks good. Like that looks good. I think that's the reason why I don't like the DualSense Edge as much in its colorway though, because I think it clash like the gloss with the matte. And in fact, I'm glad you said that. I think that's the exact reason why that may be like the least of my favorite out of all of them. And it might be why I don't like the PS5 Pro as much looking in this colorway, because it's like it's clashing a little bit. It's not really clashing, but when you put the DualSense against the DualSense Edge in its colorway, the DualSense just looks better because it looks more consistent. And then the original PlayStation and then the original PS5 with the PS5 Pro and its colorway, I think the original PS5 looks a little bit more consistent with the one stripe. bar. Like I said, I know this nitpicking, but that's probably to
It
explain my
doesn't even
reasoning
say.
why I feel that way about this colorway with all 5 of the products. But I like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did
Yeah,
this.
Debbie, that's why I was asking because it can go both ways.
And I even dive deeper to try to look. So, oof.
You can't tell from the pictures if it's gonna be
Mm-mm.
gloss or not, but I'm assuming it is gonna be gloss. We just didn't see it in like a real time shot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, PlayStation. On
Either way it
something.
goes, a lot of people are talking about. Yeah, they're talking. A lot of people are talking mess. You know how the console people be. They'll be like, "Oh, y'all was saying that y'all wasn't worried about it, so then they just slap on a old color and now y'all want it." Yes, yes. To answer your question, yes, I
a,
want it.
a colorway is a big thing though. Like you, a lot of times if there's a shoe that you like, you would not get it because it's a colorway you don't like, and you will get the same shoe because
Facts.
it's a colorway that you do like. Like colorways are important.
Facts for me. It's yes. If like most things that you can win me over is with the color red or like or red and black combo because that's my favorite color. But other colors like a nostalgia bug will hit me and stuff like this with the PlayStation anniversary console. You got me looking at you. Like I'm gonna put an effort. I'm not gonna like do the most. Like when I got my PlayStation 5, I literally got it on the first try. So it's like I'm not gonna like break my neck to try to get it, but it would be nice to have. So I'm gonna put like slight. I might put my pinky toe out to try a little hard. I ain't gonna put my whole foot out. You know, it's not that crucial because I do got my 5 ain't did nothing wrong. Just know I love you, baby. It's just that your older sibling look good.
That's funny.
Your older sibling look good. But yeah, other than that, I really do. I'm excited for it. A lot of people are. Nostalgia will always win in some households. You can't tell the people that was 80s babies, early 90s babies. You can't hurt our feelings by telling us that, oh, you only want it because of. Yep, sure do. Well, you can, as much crap and stuff that happens in this world, there's nothing you can't tell us because we literally been through all of the transitions in life. So if one thing of nostalgia could make us happy, we're gonna burrow ourselves in that feeling, and that's what we're going for. So y'all can talk about this if you want to. I guarantee if it was another color or style, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Not legit.
now that brings me to this: what is the best looking colorway you guys seen so far out of all systems?
Ooh.
Out of all systems,
For me, I'll just answer. I gotta say it gotta be out of all systems, yeah. All PlayStation systems or Xbox systems. I think Xbox did that. Actually, all systems. To me, it's got to be the anniversary PS4 Pro, the one that's like see through and clear, and it got like the gold numbers on the bottom of it that show you like which number one you got. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
That's my favorite. Yeah, I like that one.
Don't be scratching your nose up at his favorite.
What's your favorite?
It's not that one. Now let me stop.
I know it. I know it already.
No, I mean you can scratch your nose at this one too, cause it might be generic, but I'm gonna go with the original, very first PS4. I think that the console itself is the best looking console that has ever been made, and I think. Not I think I know for a fact that the color of it is one of the reasons why. In fact, so remember how I was telling about the DualSense Edge, right? How it got the gloss with the matte, and it kind of clashes a little bit. The PS4 Pro does the same thing, but it's not clashing because, at least in my eyes, it's not clashing because it's almost like an equal amount of both of them. Like you know how to remember PS4 Pro, the top of it is glossy and then the bottom of it is matte. but it's equalized. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a nice amount of both of them instead of just being like most of the controller like it's matte and like like a third of it is glossy, or like it's just design in general. You know what I'm saying? Because the edge is like it's glossy at the bottom and maybe a little bit at the top with the touch pads, but then on the sides it's matte. I don't know. It's just the PS4, the original PS4. I just think it's just the most pleasing looking console that's ever been made.
Now I got scratch my nose at you.
But you know,
y'all can side on me. Y'all can side on me to the heavens and all the way down to the hills. My console will always be the PlayStation 2. That console, I don't care. It gave me. It's like I don't care.
Can't be mad at that.
It just reminds me of like you opening up something and taking like the motherboard or something like technical looking and standing it up and it looks all pretty and stuff like, and the weirdly shapedness of it, I like it. Yes, turn that. Ugh.
I got y'all right now. Hold on.
Yes.
Broke a little bit, but it's okay.
I don't care. Yes, that's still sexy. Yes.
The
yes.
With the
that is.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
but we on some Deadpool. I told you we was Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes.
Except you Wolverine though.
See, I'm just saying. Yes. Call me what you want. Call me late for dinner. Yes. That's gonna be my goat, my baby. I'll always look to that with a fond smile upon my face.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I see my collection back there. Ooh,
yeah, we see y'all. Man, I had a solid one, and I don't even want to talk about it. But you know what? It's little things to a giant.
Bro, I had 4 PS4s. Technically speaking, I had 5, but one of them broke. I had to send it back in. I mean, PS2s. Yeah, I had 4 PS2s. Yeah,
as you should.
One for every room.
Shit, I missed my PS2. I missed my PS2 Slim silver. I had a silver one.
Oh, that was a good looking one too. Yeah, the slim one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good looking one. Oh, matter of fact, y'all remember when PlayStation used to be silver? I'm sorry, now
silver.
It's black and it's white, but they used to be black and silver, like, or PS1 was gray, but like ever since like PS2, PS3, PS4, they always had like a silver type colorway. Maybe not 4.
Yeah.
4 had gold. Yeah, PS2 and PS3 had like silver colorways. Did PS3 have it? I don't know. Let me stop talking. All right.
PS3 had one.
Okay, cool.
You said PS3 did or didn't?
PS3 is the best looking PlayStation console to me, but colorway wise, it's the Pro.
Got you.
That's a good one too.
Okay, y'all. So, how do y'all feel about the Concord's game director that stepped down a few weeks ago after the game was officially shut down and purchases the refund? Concord will still be a part of the Secret level and anthology series from Amazon Prime, where Concord will have its own dedicated episode. So, what are your thoughts about that? Like,
didn't we talk about this last week?
We did, but if we refresh it, then people.
Okay.
Yes. Concord. We talked about how it's still gonna be a part of a Secret Level, the anthology series on Amazon Prime. But now officially, the game director for Concord, he stepped down a couple days ago. I mean, the writing was on the wall. This whole thing with Concord, everything is the writing was on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not surprising to me that whoever this was stepped down. It is what it is. The game is going to go down in history and not for the best things. Even though I liked it, even though, I really liked the gameplay.
The good thing, I guess. Well, the good thing is, I guess you could say, is like them stepping down, but it seems like everything was already in motion. So it's like they're just gonna probably go with what they got and see how how it is when you just throw something You throw the noodles against the wall and see what sticks. That's what it feels like. I really don't have nothing to say. I never played it. I did like the imaging before it came out, but when I seen it after like different people was playing it, it didn't keep my interest. So I'm not surprised by everything that's happening with it.
Gotcha.
Now this might set up a revival for it though. If people really like it on Amazon, they might come back. They say, "Hey,
Yeah.
we got enough following now. It might come back now." PlayStation Plus.
I mean, they could
Cough,
tweak.
cough.
They could tweak. It's like they had what was it, like 7 years to try to figure this. If you got that much of a foundation behind trying to have something come out, a minor setback, and this can bring it back into the forefront of people's minds. You just take the time. My thing is, if you have an inkling that it could, during the time that they do their showcasing for Amazon, y'all need to be like figuring something out behind the scenes so that we're not seeing. So if it does become something, y'all already have a solid footing to like present it in a like. Don't just dust it off, put a new package on, and send it back out. You got time to work on stuff if you think that that's what's gonna happen. Like if you think that this series is gonna like give it a push or the boost that people might want, then you might want to like take this time while it's cooking. They're only simmering and stuff. There's nothing really cooking right now. I'm not smelling the food in the kitchen. But if somebody finds it interesting, you might want to take it serious.
You guys know always be having a lot of random stuff to say. Do you guys think that they should have came out with the show first and then let people see the show or whatever Amazon series they had first and then release the game to give it like a kind of hype?
I think that you probably would have still had the same issue. Because was there really any issues with the game itself?
Not necessarily with the game itself, but it was like it was a random online game that just came out and you had to pay for it and it wasn't free. It wasn't free to play. Now, had the game came out with a show and people are like, we really like this show.
Mm-hmm.
We're willing to pay for this game. You see what I'm saying? Versus we just putting out a new a hero shooter game out and we're just trying to stick it and then try to make a movie out of it. It should have been like a TV series first, get people hooked onto it. Mm-hmm. Right? Kind of like what they did The Last of Us. I mean, even though Last of Us came out first, but the people who never played The Last of Us, when they seen The Last of Us, sales for The Last of Us went up, right? They kind of did something like that. Just saying.
Yeah.
That could have been a better method.
I could see that. I could definitely see them. If they would have took the time to do that, I could see. Because, a lot of people that don't play games started playing games just because of the series. So... I like it. Exactly. I'm all for it.
I definitely think it can be it could be a potential for it to come. I'm gonna be real. I don't see Concord coming back in the state it was. I don't think that they should have released Secret Level first and then the game because the game it had cutscenes in the game already. Mm-hmm. And I think it would have been probably a little confusing because a lot of people probably would have got their first. Most likely they would have got their first. Impressions from Secret Level, which is a good thing because you got people gonna tune in because it's God of War in it. You know what I'm saying? Kratos is in it, so people gonna be watching Secret Level. But I think honestly, if they bring it back, I think they should turn it into a MOBA. Like you already got the foundation there. You got the hero shooter aspect of it. The powers and everything, team based. I think it should be a MOBA. A lot of MOBAs don't have that big following either. So for you to be a successful MOBA, it's not going to. Of course, it's MOBAs in itself. I'm not just talking about predecessor, but anything Smite, League of Legends, they are highly competitive. So you really got to fine tune the controls and make sure everything is damn near perfect. But I think they should turn into a MOBA if they bring it back. I don't see it surviving in any state if they bring it back the way it was. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that at all because I like the game. But yeah, I don't. I was thinking Sony should create a MOBA, and they should create a MOBA with their characters. So like Nathan Drake, mm-hmm. What's the girl from Horizon? Aloy, Kratos. Like You can have melee characters, you can have shooting characters, you have support characters. You can have all those characters inside of MOBA. So since I was already thinking that, they might as well just turn Concord into that MOBA. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like they're going to be doing something with this game. They're going to be doing something. By the way they took it down, it just sounds like they're going to be doing something else with the game. You know? I just don't think it's
as much money. As much money as they had to put into it, like I'd try to figure something out because, like, according to Colin Moradi, I don't know how I'm pronouncing his last name. My apologies if I'm
just. So we going on to the next topic.
Yeah, because it's the same. Like it's a hand in hand since you're talking about they might continue with it. Like
yes,
my thing with that is like he's spoken with somebody, quote unquote, who worked on Concord, and it is reported that the game cost $400 million to make, and it's speculated that the shape of the game was so bad that Sony purchased the studio Firewalk on a budget of $200 million, that Sony put an additional $200 million into the game to get it to be worth selling. But internally, it was rumored to have been thought of as the future of PlayStation, comparing it to the likes of Star Wars. So, like, what do you think about that, and do you believe it to be true?
You want to take this one first, Beast?
You got it.
So, I probably got a lot to say on this one. Okay,
buckle up, kids.
Colin Moriarty talked to this guy. This is all a rumor. We don't know it's true. You know what I'm saying? We just going off of one person's opinion, one person's experience from talking to another person that worked on the game. No matter if you like Colin Moriarty or not, you know, some people don't like him, some people do. I've been following Colin Moriarty ever since the beginning, you know what I'm saying? He cool people with me. But at the end of the day, at least on his views, I don't know him, but at least on his views, at the end of the day, no matter if what he's saying is the most accurate thing or not, is definitely believable. Which a lot of people don't believe this, but I don't. Look, the game costs money. We know the game costs money because of the type of game that it is and the way that they was going to deliver this game. The cutscenes that we seen, the marketing that we seen, the cutscenes that we seen, it looks like it was of quality, right? The gameplay was of quality. So we know they spent some money on this game. It wasn't a cheap game. Now, is it $400 million? Who knows? What he's saying is that Firewalk Studios, before they turned into Firewalk Studios, when they was making this game, spent around $200 million on the game, and it wasn't even in a state to where it can be sold off. So Sony came in and pretty much feel like they had to put another $200 million into the game, and most likely actually did, for it to be in a playable, sellable state and everything. Now, whether they put $200 million on the game itself or not, who knows? But however, you also got to think about it. We got to think about the marketing, right? Because number one, it's in secret level. Yeah, they get paid, you know, for it to be in secret level because they're IP, so Amazon has to pay them. Yes, but still, it's still marketing. This game was touted as the future of PlayStation, according to Colin Moriarty when he was talking to this guy. And they was comparing it to the likes of Star Wars, like we said. So, if those things are true, then a $200 million, that's easily believable. Again, look at the game. It's of quality. They had cutscenes. They had planned out for it to be cutscenes throughout the game's duration. You know what I'm saying? So you get used to the characters. So a lot of that stuff was already probably pre-made. In that conversation, he said that two of the things were that was cosmetics and monetization and onboarding the players. Those are things that Sony had to chip in to put more towards. So that means that those things were, a lot of that stuff was already made before the game launched. That way, when the game launched and we paid our money, we'll be just getting fed that content over time. So a lot of this content was already made. When you factor all these things in, even if some things not true, even if some things are exaggerations, right? The game costs a lot of freaking money, and Sony lost a lot of freaking money. My problem with this is not the fact that Sony put this much money up front for this game. My problem is with this is that there has been multiple things with Sony with PlayStation that the fans have been asking for. We have been asking for Resistance. We have been asking for a Killzone. I know people are tired of people talking about these games. I'm tired of talking about these games. I'm sick and tired of it. Resistance, Killzone, SOCOM, we don't have not one of them. Not one. But yet you putting 200 million, let's not even say 200 million, you're funding Concord. And which we thought that if you bought this studio for the game that they had, we thought that y'all saw something that y'all was impressed with. But now it's seeming like y'all bought something to try to fix it up because you had this delusional vision. Because you wanted a Star Wars-like IP when you got Spider-Man. Don't make sense to me. We've been asking for these games. We've been asking for changes for PlayStation. We have been asking for a $600 PlayStation 5 Pro. We have been asking for Sony to stop raising prices on us. We have been asking Sony to stop raising prices on PlayStation Plus. We have been asking Sony to give us more games of other. We have been asking so many things. And now it seems like it's coming to the light of why we are specifically not getting those things. And it's because of Concord. And this is coming.
Yeah, they put a lot of money in that.
Say again.
I don't think it's just Concord though. I don't think it's just Concord. I just think that the PS3 era Sony cockiness is back, and they're gonna charge whatever they want for anything now. They shouldn't. They should not have dumped $200 million into Concord when they knew it was a wreck already. But we already know exactly what they was trying to do. They was trying to have their own brand, online live service game that only they brand has, and so they wanted to see, hey, maybe we can use that as we'll dump as much money into it as we want as humanly possible to get that to be our brand. This is the thing about that though. The thing is about it is the fact that game development is already expensive, so that $200 million, that sounds about right to fix something. Sounds about right. How much do you think they dumped into? Are they gonna dump into Metroid Prime 4? They had to redo that, right? So I feel like that's the same kind of thing. Like you have to once you have to take over something and you gotta do redo everything over. You're gonna dump that money into it. But PS3 level era Sony is back. They're on top. There's nobody who can beat them right now, and they're gonna charge whatever they want because they got the stuff that everybody wants.
But there's a reason
at the moment.
Though. There's a reason for it. The PS3 era Sony is back, but I think it's different reasoning. Back then they was just cocky. This seems like they are recouping money from all. $200 million is not an easy thing to that's 2 games right there.
Yeah.
If not 3.
Yeah, true.
That's not a.
They probably recouping money from.
That's not no small chump change. That's a lot of freaking money. And then check this out too, right? You was right when it came to the PS5 Pro being $700, right? I was wrong. I was totally wrong, right? I was wrong. So I want to give you your credit with that. But however,
give my flowers.
Remember what we was talking about? We've been talking about this. If y'all been tuning to the podcast, y'all heard me and Beats talk about this multiple times. When it came to that online live service, they want to have that Overwatch. They want to have that Fortnite. Remember, I told you that was the wrong move for them to do. And look what happened.
You did.
These people then lost at least 200 million. We're not even talking about how much it was to buy Concord. I mean, to buy Firewalk, the studio. Because remember, Firewalk already put like $200 million into this game before Sony bought them. So most likely, when Firewalk was in negotiations with Sony to buy them, they put that into their, you know what I'm saying, they factor that into the money that it would have taken for Sony to buy them. So that's another, like, it's not even just even if Sony put $200 million into the game itself, Sony didn't just lose $200 million. This is way more money. Like, Sony themselves probably lost $400 million based on this whole game. You know what I'm saying? Themselves.
It's crazy.
On top of the $200 million that Firewall before Sony bought them put into the game. But Sony themselves, with everything surrounding this game, they lost so much money from one game, though. One game. And this is what I'm saying. Sony they should go back to the PS3 era. They should, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is the games. You know what I'm saying? Even the moves, even if you want to charge a $700 PS5 Pro, you know what I'm saying? Even if you get to that cocky stage, that's better than you charging us all this because you need to. Like, Sony not Microsoft. PlayStation is what drives Sony. That's what brings in the revenue. Not their cameras, not their TVs, not their movies. It's the gaming division. So if your gaming division is losing money, that's causing hectic upon the entire company. And we already know they movie division losing money. We already know that. So, like,
but PS3 ever Sony, but that was the worst era that they ever had for losing money, wasn't it? Pretty sure that was like the worst ever because they launched at $600, and they launched at $600, and the PS3 cost $800 to make back then.
I don't know. The reason being is, though, because we know the PS2 era was successful because they sold so many PS2s. But during that time, we got to remember, too, they were also losing money on their games because they were making a lot of, like filler games. You know what I'm saying? The child-friendly games, which was actually, a lot of them were pretty good. But still, they were filler games to fill in the gap throughout the year, which Sony don't really do no more as much. So they purposely lost money on some games. And Sean Layden talks about this a lot. Or at least he talked about this multiple times. Where they would lose money on certain games, like AA games or indie games or whatnot. Just to fill that gap, just so they can have a diverse pool, and they get game money from their other software. But the point I was trying to make with that was that PS3, yeah, they were losing money, but at the same time they were gaining a lot of footing too, at the tail end. You know what I'm saying? The last 2 or 3 years. So yes and no, but again, they were still cocky. They wasn't doing things because they needed to. I truly feel like Sony are doing these things because they feel like they need to, because they need to recoup their money. But like, they're not in a dire state right now. Don't get me wrong, because they're still making money from PlayStation Plus and their consoles. But still, they're not getting to their goals because they are backtracking so much. But not to compare where they was at from then to now, as much as far as finances wise, games wise, PS3 was one of the best generations they had.
My favorite.
It's not even my favorite, but I definitely recognize, like, it might even, games wise, it might even be better than the PS2. Which is kind of crazy to say.
That's a pull.
Yeah, like I personally don't think it is, but if somebody was to say that, hey, look, to be honest with you, I would not be mad at you about that, because that's a good viewpoint. But yeah, like this whole thing is just in general. I guess to conclude my point, because I was really passionate about this. It makes me upset. It makes me highly upset because all Sony had to do was listen. It's not just me saying these things. It's not just B saying these things. There are so many, and Debbie too. Debbie has been on record saying a lot of these same things too. It's not just us. It's so many gamers that have been telling Sony for such a long time, for multiple years, on what to do, what we are going to buy. And they have not been listening. Had they been listening, this would have never happened. And it was easy to avoid. But it seems like internally, and this is why I'm believing these reports, even if they exaggerate a little bit, I'm believing it because it seems like internally, PlayStation want to do their own thing and keep doing their own thing, and then just try to sell us on. We see it right now with Horizon. Nobody is asking for Horizon. No one is asking for Horizon. But yet, constantly, Aloy this, Aloy that, Aloy this, Aloy that. Don't nobody care. Why are they keep trying to force us to buy things that we do not care about? And that's what's Sony's problem. Stop trying to force us to like stuff. We like what we like, and we are telling Sony what it is that we like. All they gotta do is listen. Especially when there's a majority of people. I can see if it was just Twitter fingers, but majority of people are saying this who play on the platform. It's not just one. It's not just an echo chamber, but or that's the wrong term. It's not just a small minority, but give or take. Anyway, go. This kind of make this pisses me off. This pisses me off. I kind of believe it, even if it's not true. I can see it because they're doing it with Horizon.
Yep, they're doing it with Horizon, and I guess they're trying to recoup that money from Horizon too.
They said, "Run me my coins. Y'all done failed us. Now we gotta upcharge."
Now I want to get to one point though. What Fred was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You give the gamers what they want. Now, you give the gamers what they want. If that game don't sell, are they ever gonna get what they want in that game again?
Ooh.
That's the problem. The problem has always been money. So, like for example, we love Astro Playroom. Now we got Astro Bot. You know, I don't know. I haven't seen the sales for Astro Bot yet. This is a great game. That's a great Sony game.
A great game.
So if that game sold like Concord, or it sold like like something like that, will we see a game like that again?
Let me see.
We won't see a game like that again,
Well,
because unless they want to be like Nintendo and diverse their pool and they don't care about losing money, because Nintendo does that a lot.
Right. Well, they've
I don't
been
think
doing it
Sony's
though.
like
They've been doing it ever since I want to say PS1, but definitely PS2 age.
No, yeah, the PS2 age they was doing it for sure.
My thing is that though they have so many examples where it worked. Like when we asked for something and we showed up, not every single time, but there are a lot of examples where that actually worked. You know what I'm saying? Like people been asking for a Horizon remake, but you do not have a Bloodborne remake. Come on, bro. Come on.
If they was to release a Bloodborne remake right now, it'll blow up the internet. Twitter will be talking about it nonstop.
And see, and this is another thing too, right? Numbers matter. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. PlayStation would not be where it's at if they was talking about freaking engagement, right? So numbers matter, right? I'm not delusional. Of course, Horizon sells way more than Bloodborne. I believe that Horizon sells way more than Bloodborne. However, there's a difference when Sean Layden was in office, and there's a difference when Jim Ryan was in office. No matter what you think about those two people, it doesn't matter. The perception of PlayStation. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not the only reason, but a lot of reasons that PlayStation is winning right now is because Xbox just suck. That's a big factor. A lot of people are saying that right now. Like, is competition the reason why? Lack of competition the reason why Sony is doing this? If Xbox was in a Xbox 360 days, PS5 would not be where it's at right now. I can guarantee you that. I can highly guarantee you that. If they did have Xbox on their game, then yeah, One of the reasons why Sony can slip up so many times this generation as they've been doing and still make a profit is because they don't have as much competition. And that's just it is what it is. Because Sony has slipped up so many times this generation. Like, this is probably record breaking right now. But to answer the question though, Horizon versus a Bloodborne remake. Now granted, yeah, a Bloodborne remake wouldn't sell as much. But now I'm finna put on my market researching hat right quick. If that's the case, then you should not expect Bloodborne to sell as much as Star Wars. I don't know who they have in that office, but they clearly don't have the right people. Because the right person would have told them that Concord would never sell like a Star Wars at all whatsoever. Overwatch don't even sell like Star Wars. And that's Overwatch. Fortnite is barely getting up there. They creeping on up there, but anybody would have told you Concord wasn't the way. It's not even that type of game. The way they made it. It's not even the type of game to do that. It's to the point where this is freaking hilarious. This is the dumb. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this. This is the stupidest thing that PlayStation have ever thought. The stupidest. When you have Spider-Man right there, and you thought Concord was gonna sell as much as Spider-Man. Whoever Homer Holtz, if he was the person that was behind this, he need to be fired. I don't care what he's done for PlayStation. If he was the person behind this, he needs to be fired. But yeah, that's just my point of view. Know your product. Know the freaking
Not him
product.
saying, but I digress.
Yes, no. You have to know the product. You have to know the product. If you don't know your product, how on earth can you market it? That is one of the first things us as market researchers do. If we cannot it's two set when it comes to I'm finna put y'all on game real quick when it comes to market researching. Don't be telling all my secrets to everybody. When it comes to market research, one of the first things you gotta do is you gotta know the product. You gotta know the product down to almost ins and outs. Not be as much expertise with the product, but you have to know the product. The second thing is knowing the audience. Okay, so if you don't know what product you have, you don't know how to market and handle that product to the people. And if you don't know that, then you cannot know how much. You cannot predict how much it's going to sell. So that's the first thing you got to do before you try to predict how much you're going to sell. You got to know the product, then you got to know the audience. Those are the biggest two things. That's how we do our job. And Sony clearly don't have those people in office. So if they knew the product, if they knew what Concord was, what they were selling, they will have known that it was not going to reach a Star Wars. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what inspiration it takes. It's not going to reach a Star Wars level. So Sony does not know their products. And it shows because they did this move with Concord. They keep freaking shoving Aloy down our face. They not bringing back their older IPs that are freaking legendary. Sony and PlayStation do not know their products. And that is the biggest problem that is the biggest problem that PlayStation has. They do not know their products.
Do you think that it's that they don't know their products, or they know that because of who they are, if they put something out, if it may not do as great as they want it to, but they know that somebody's gonna come and get it?
It's probably both.
They don't care. They don't care because in the PS3 era, they spent so much money trying to do so much, and it ended up working. Because you gotta think they had games like Puppeteer. They had what was the urban zoo, the wildlife game. I'm trying to remember. They invested so heavily and older, and different IP, but they wasn't making the money that they wanted to make. They kept looking over at Call of Duty. They keep looking over at Fortnite. They looking over at Microsoft. Like I had no idea that Elder Scrolls Online makes $15 million a month. So they trying to get those type of games in their wheelhouse so that they can make that monthly revenue. They don't care nothing about a single player game, because once they get those initial sales and maybe their first year sales, they know unless they put some DLC out, or unless they figure out a way to monetize it, they want to keep getting their money, because they gotta have the $10 million or the $8 million, or however many go to the shareholders and the people that's funding the company. They gotta line their pockets as executives, and then the last people get paid is the people that's working on the game and marketing the game. So they got to make sure that they pocket that the profitability of the business is through the roof. Otherwise, they don't care. But because Sony is the market leader, nobody is buying Xbox, they got some time to get some games and stuff together. And maybe with this new regime, they'll go back and they'll start going through those older IPs, taking some chances with some new IPs. But Sony, they trying to get to where Nintendo and now Xbox with the Call of Duty or the Activision Blizzard acquisition, they trying to get there.
And you know the problem.
Unless they trying to,
you know the problem with that too is who make Call of Duty? Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Activision. Mm-hmm. Activision don't have a console. Epic Games does not have a console. So the fact that Sony, your direct competitors is Xbox, your direct competitor is Nintendo, your direct competitor damn near is more Steam than Activision. Because now Steam has the Steam Deck.
But none of them care nothing about. That's the thing about it. None of them care except Nintendo care about the actual. I mean, well, I can't say Xbox don't, because Xbox didn't figure out the best strategy. These games just got a hit now. These games got the Indiana Jones got a hit, Avowed, Fable, Gears, all of them got a hit. When Forza and Halo come back around, it's got a hit. The rest of them games on that slate, they got a hit, and they got a hit, and they got a hit and hit and hit and hit. Nintendo ain't worried, because they already know when Metroid Prime 4 drop and the re-release Tears of the Kingdom, and if they smart, they'll re-release Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch too. You know, get that 60 frames per second and do it up like that and put them out as a collection. You know, they're not worried about it.
Right, so
they know they don't have people there.
The point I was making though was that look at Nintendo, right? Like you were saying, right? Look at Nintendo. Nintendo not trying to be Xbox. They're not trying to be Fortnite. They're not trying to be Sony. Nintendo is focused on themselves, and their sales are the way they are. Is because, which Sony was doing this too, but they were just focused on each individual game. Forget the live service ongoing. Oh, let's get all this money from this one game and have the biggest game in the world. And I'm putting on my Donald Trump hat now. I'm freaking out. But still,
take it off. Take it off.
Nintendo. Hey, look, we got Pokemon. Bam, drop this game. Boom, we get buku numbers. Legend of Zelda. Boom, we get buku numbers. Why? Because they focus on all their IPs. All Sony had to do, and this is what I'm talking about. Sony don't know their product. PlayStation is not just about a Fortnite. PlayStation is not just about the people that play on PlayStation play so many freaking games. When back in the PS3 and 360 eras, the biggest thing with gamers when it came to the gamers was that Xbox players played certain games PlayStation players play certain games, and those certain games were a very diverse pool of games. To the point where even if one person didn't play all of the games on PlayStation, you had people that was there for Final Fantasy. You had people that was there for freaking the JRP, all the other JRPGs. You had people that was there for the Sony IPs. You had people that was there for the free online. Sony don't even know the console that they have. They were winning when they were focused on their IPs, and they had multiple. Anytime Sony won, it's because they had multiple IPs that were all working together to bring them to the Sony that they were. It was to the point where we didn't even know what mascot Sony had, because they had so many legendary IPs. They wasn't known for one thing. Yeah, you can get away with Astrobot now, but again, Astrobot is a combination of all their freaking IPs, even the ones that they're not even getting a sequel for, like Days Gone. So like, Sony them, and I'm not, I ain't talking like against you or anything, DJ. I'm just pissed off at Sony right now. Sony should have just kept what they was doing and focused on what they was doing since the PS3 days, which is give us multiple IPs, multiple online experiences. Forget the Fortnite, bro. Fortnite only has Fortnite. Literally, Epic Games really only got Fortnite. Like, they got the storefront now. Yeah, they getting money from that, but that's because they had money to develop that stuff. Epic Games is only Fortnite. Activision is really only.
They got Rocket League and they got Fall Guys, and they doing well. They got 3 games that are doing well and people still playing. Hell, the Squid Games game that's coming out is basically a more mature version of Fall Guys.
Yeah, say that again. Fall Guys. Yeah.
No, I'm saying the Squid Game.
Now, Debbie, you don't be seeing Debbie stream
coming out with a Fall Guys.
I'm a Fall Guys slut.
Yeah, so they got 3 games that's making money hand over fist.
Yeah, my point. You right about that.
I'm just using Fortnite because that's their biggest game.
You right about that. My point is though, they don't have a console. That's my biggest point. They don't got to be worried about a console. Sony has to be worried about a console at times, because if not, then you'll.
No. Because the PlayStation, because when they closed that gap with PS3, they ran it up with PS4. They ran it up with PS5, even though the quarantine impacted their bottom line. Mm-hmm. They so up, and then you gotta think they redoing the Horizon because they said they canceled the TV show, but they didn't cancel it. All they did was they're finding another director because they're going to have they're gonna find another showrunner for the Horizon show.
Right.
So Sony's strategy is we got God of War. They scrapped the God of War, but they gonna probably find somebody else to do the God of War series. And so their strategy is, hey, we gonna put out a hit show, because they seen everybody looked at what Arcane and what Edge Runners did for those games. That's why we getting a Watch Dogs movie. That's why we getting a Sam Fisher.
DJ Killzone, we getting off topic. My point. Yep. My point is that.
Tell you what they doing.
Hold on. My point is that DJ Killzone. Hold on, because we got a lot of topics. We getting off topic. My point is that Sony has to worry about a console, because if not, that's what drive the console sales. Yes, they may have made a profit on consoles. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not selling the consoles. I'm just saying if they're not focused on their IPs, their consoles will not sell. Epic Games don't have to worry about that. Activision don't have to worry about that. And their strategy would turn these IPs into movies is not helping the console sales. It's not. It's just not. Uncharted did not help Uncharted game sales. They didn't. The Concord anthology episode most likely is not going to help Concord because Concord is dead. God of War TV series is not about to help God of War because God of War already sells. The strategy that they're doing is not working. What it was working, the strategy. But the strategy that they did have, and that didn't raise The Last of Us sales. The show did not raise The Last of Us sales.
I thought they did, because I thought that people went and bought The Last of Us Part 1, and that the sales on that, because at first it wasn't doing as well when it dropped.
That's not why people bought The Last of Us Part 1, though. They bought The Last of Us Part 1 because Sony gave them what they asked for, which was having the game mechanics of The Last of Us Part 2 into Part 1. It may help Part 3. Don't get me wrong. The series may help Part 3, but the point that I'm making that the strategy that they have right now is not working. And the strategy that they did have in the past was working. Why? Because we know when a PS3 launched, they were losing the Xbox. But after the later till the end, they caught up and surpassed Xbox because they was listening to the fans. What they was listening to the fans about? Bringing more IP out. That's the point I'm trying to make. Sony should have stuck with their old strategy like they were doing because it was working for them. But yet now this new Sony, they've been changing their strategy. They've been doing different things. They look this. We was talking about Concord. That's how we got to this. They done lost millions and millions and millions of dollars from just one game, and we're not even talking about the other live service games that they got coming out. Their strategy is failing them.
I think they're gonna halt all of those. They halted Last of Us. They halted some other ones. So they have halted a lot of those games that's coming out.
And that's my point. The Last of Us, they should not have halted because that was sticking with their strategy that they had. They had a Resistance with multiplayer. They had a Last of Us on PS3 with multiplayer. They had a Killzone with multiplayer. No matter how much these games sold back in the day that people want to say, oh, they didn't sell. At the end of the day, they made Sony money. They made Sony a profit.
They looking at it from the aspect of the long term with the multiplayer, because we've had multiplayer games that came out besides Concord that, like with Halo Infinite, like what's the other one? Outriders. When you don't have people will come and they'll play it, but because we're in the battle pass, season pass, all of that pass,
that era
where these people will put the error, it's like they expect more content. People ain't gonna play the same 8 maps and be okay with it like they were back in the day. So that's why they haven't brought Killzone and Resistance and all that, because the player expectations have changed.
But that's not true. So that's not true. Look at Helldivers. We were playing on the exact same maps, shooting the exact same enemies. Yeah, it was co-op.
Well, yeah, but that's it's new though, because a lot of people on console haven't played like an extraction shooter that was PvE. It wasn't PvP like Rainbow Six and all that. They've had those on PC, you know what I'm saying? And you had games like Remnant and stuff like that, but to have something that hit nostalgia, because it's like Starship Troopers. So you got an extraction shooter that's PvE that starts. It was something that we didn't have before.
Yeah, but it felt like a PS3 game. Like that's what a lot of people were saying. It felt like and that's my point. It's not that people don't want to play 6v6, 8v8, same maps. It's not that. No, people do want to play that, but it's what you do with it. People was playing Resistance, people was playing Killzone, and I feel like if you bring Killzone and Resistance, like as far as online services, the way you had it back then, people would still jump online and support that game. People still playing Call of Duty without Warzone.
But they didn't play. But here's the thing, though, Freddie. They didn't play. They didn't play Shadowfall. They didn't play Resistance 3.
Shadowfall was not that good of a game. Like you got to have a good game first. Like Shadowfall graphics was good, but it was a boring game. Like it wasn't the 6v6 that was the problem. Shadowfall with the game was the problem.
I like Shadowfall, but I see what you're saying.
I mean, I did too, but I wasn't playing online. Like that was not a game that I wanted to. I played online. I didn't. It was okay. It wasn't like it was not a Resistance or Killzone 3. Like it was not.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they should do, Freddie, is bring back Killzone Mercenaries, because Mercenaries I felt like was a way better online game, and it was kind of the story mode kind of got you ready to play the online game because you had the 6v6, and then you had like one of the like halfway through the match you'd have like a brute come out, and during the match you would earn money to unlock weapons and stuff in game. So as you got kill streaks or whatever, instead of getting kill streaks, the better that you played, the better weapons and loadouts that you had and drops that you had during the game. So if they do if they come back, they maybe need to remaster Killzone Mercenaries, or call it Killzone Mercenaries Reborn or something like that, to where they can have they can have that come back, because you, like you were saying about Helldivers kind of took that that mechanic and made it be brought it to the RTS space, and then they pulled the camera down and made it third person so that you could experience the action. So if they want to do it, they need to do something like that to where it's not the same as a Call of Duty or Rainbow Six or something like that. But gotcha. Yeah, I think that Sony will course correct Freddy, because every time, one thing I give Sony credit for is when they see something ain't working, they immediately change course. They might get big headed for a second, but then they come right back and give the fans what they want.
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah, let's
y'all want to go, since y'all discussing Sony and the plans that they be having, the next topic might, give y'all something else to either have disdain for or see the possibilities on.
Got you. All right, what's the next topic, Debbie?
The PlayStation plans to reach a wide range of customers by expanding their content to PCs, but have the home console still be the core of their business. And according to a recent interview with Sony Interactive's Platform Business Group CEO Hiroki Nishino, he believes that with PlayStation, you can play the content you purchase as soon as you turn it on, because many mobile games have ads, and they feel like PCs are difficult to set up, and the products are clearly displayed in the stores where you buy software, so it's an intuitive experience. And then they say, so their ideal is to broaden their content on PCs, but still have the console be the core. So what do y'all think about that? Because they feel like PC's better, like, in their, of course, they're biased, but they feel like PC is not as great, or they can still do as much with the console as with PCs, but still pull PC users in.
Yeah, it's convenient. It's convenient. I think this is what I was saying. I was wrong about the price of the Pro, but I was still right about the intentions of the Pro, and it is to give console players that bridge that gap of console and PC quality when you're playing games on console. Look, everybody likes convenience, and yeah, I think that's true. Like, look, consoles, you can plug and play. You can go right to the store and get one. You ain't gotta research too much. You just, hey, look, that's the new PlayStation. Let me buy it, take it to my home, plug it in my TV, download some stuff, and play my games. You ain't gotta worry about no drives. You gotta worry about disk drive now, but you ain't gotta worry about updating drivers. You ain't gotta worry about, like I said, doing research, building parts. Maybe some things not even purchasable at the store. You know what I'm saying? You can't just walk in Target and get a RTX 4090. Like, yeah, that's true. And expand expand the PC. Cool. Yes. I like the viewpoint. It's just, when they tell me this, and then we go back to the, I'm not going back to the previous topic of Concord, but you do moves like Concord. It confuses me, because you're saying the right stuff. You're saying it. But are you actually doing it? Because if that's the case, is it really truly more convenient for me to get a console and plug and play if you're charging almost the same price as PCs? Granted, $700.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but they're saying that I think that with this, the Pro, we'll kind of get to see how they are putting their money where their mouth is, because since they're already saying that they have a faster GPU, the advanced ray tracing, and then they also have the AI driven upscaling. Do you think like this might be them talking because they feel like what they have coming out is gonna like back up their talk?
I think that's why. Yeah, I do think that's why he's mentioning. They're mentioning this whole push for PC now, because for a while, like a couple months ago, they came out and when he became CEO, they came out and was specifically talking about PC. But for a while, they was kind of avoiding the topic. Like we was saying, like we was trying to speculate all these games releasing day one on PC. Like Sony keep making these moves and they're getting closer and closer to release dates. Like simultaneously release dates. Like are they going to be moving towards PC? Are they going to be ditching the console? So they have been making moves to, assure that what they're saying, what they're saying right here is actually true. It's just that I think any person can be worried still, because it's like, are you still focused on the IPs? Are you still focused on what made PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's true. Like I would rather them have a PS5 Pro available at $700, and you can buy it up in the pick it up in the store. You know what I'm saying? I like having that product on the market, even if it's an option, even if I don't buy it, but just as an option. Because of I have the option to just go get a more powerful console, and experience PC like quality on my console, just plug and play. Like who don't want that? You know what I'm saying? But as long as they just keep staying focused on this and not change it up in the future, like how they just changed up how they did their IPs, I'm all cool for it. But the minute that they do the same thing they do with their IPs, how they want to do with their consoles and their hardware, they try to do the same thing with their software as they doing. I mean, if they try to do the same thing with their hardware as they doing with their software right now, I'm probably out, cause I'm tired. I'm getting sick and tired of Sony right now.
Yo, it is 1:50 Eastern Standard Time on the good day that the Lord has brought of September 21st, Saturday, and Freddie just committed treason against his love for Sony.
I mean, I understand where Freddie coming from. That's why I always say about having all the consoles and maybe having a PC or a ROG or something like that. Because until we work for these companies and move up in these companies and everything else like that, and we actually are able to command some of this, they gonna do what they gonna want to do. They don't care nothing about the fans, because the thing about it is they're looking at they're once Call of Duty, once GTA, once the sports games, once Fortnite, it's the video. We got to remember, it's the video game business, not the video game fan base, not the video game franchise, not the video game legacy, not the video game enthusiast or the collector. It's the video game business.
It is the proverbial, I'm not your friend. Your parents be telling you, I ain't your little friend.
I'm not one friend. So that's why I get it where Freddie is coming from, and I agree with him on a lot of what he said. I'm just in that boat of they doing what makes sense to them until it don't. And when people stop buying it, that's when they gonna fire everybody. If it don't sell 1 million copies out the gate, they gonna fire everybody. They gonna get rid of as many people as they can, and they already got their million. They already got their billions. You know what I'm saying? They working on they summer home, and they working on that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care nothing about us wanting another Infamous or Sly Cooper or what. No, they only care about their money. So I want everybody to remember that, like, yeah, they listen to the fans and they care about the fans only when they getting some money. Like the CEO of Crafton that owns PUBG, they said, look, we already know High Fire Rush ain't gonna make a whole bunch of money, but that ain't why we bought them, and that ain't why we want them to Tango Gameworks to stay around. We care about the art. We already making enough money off of PUBG, which is insane because Fortnite and Call of Duty has eclipsed them, but overseas they still getting a lot of money. So they said, well, hey, we tried to make some games, they didn't really work out, but we trying to make them. We making enough money on PUBG to where we gonna try different things and we gonna do it for the art form, not just the profit. So for them to come out here and say that, you know what I'm saying, and they don't have a console either, Freddie, but for them to come out here and say that, that lets you know that it's certain people that's for the bag. There's a lot of people that's for the bag. It's few people that's for the integrity, you know, of the art form and where we at with it. So, you know, we can sit here and act like Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft, they care. I don't care who they watch out in front of us and act like they care and say thank you and we appreciate you and all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Debbie said. They is not our friends. Them is not our people. They giving us a product and a service that we enjoy, but if the Call of Duty and the Fortnite and the NBA 2K and the Madden and the FIFA and all them people, that's who they trying to cater towards. Those people just throw that game on to take a load off of their day. They ain't passionate about it or love it like we do, but they spending the most money. So that's why I tell people to go out and not evangelize, but spread the word on the games that you enjoy, because the more people that you tell outside the internet, outside of making content, then that'll bring them over there, you know, to that type of content.
Yeah, like me, when it comes to Fall Guys, I speak the gospel of Fall Guys into everybody's life. It's a great. No, just hear me out, okay? Before y'all always go on y'all's tangents. It's my turn.
All right, let's go. Oh, Debbie.
Fall Guys is a game. You could play that with your kids. You could have a toxic game night with your friends and make it a drinking game. You could like level up in ways that, like, I put it like this. I have never paid for a Fame Pass. Never would I pay for a Fame Pass. You know how I get my Fame Pass? I earn it because I be dominating. You go in there, you get your little crowns, handle your thing. You can make it fun, toxic. You can, hey, if you having a bad day and you want to get some light aggression off, go into Fall Guys, hit that solo round, and then go in there and prove your point. If you want to, like, support other people that create these maps, you slide up in the creative modes and show them love. Thumbs up they stuff if you like it. Thumbs them down if they think they did too much, too little, whatever. But it's a game that can bring the world together.
Hey, turn up.
I'm done.
Nah, make sure you speaking facts though. I haven't played Fall Guys in a minute.
So yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like when they said that ESO is making $15 million a month, I almost dropped my phone. I said, dang, people is really playing the hell out of Elder Scrolls Online. And then you gotta think about how many expansions that they got. They on like they 7 or 8 expansion. Like that's unheard of. But hey, it kept the lights on, and Microsoft, that's why they bought it. That's why they bought Bethesda. That's why they bought Call of Duty. It wasn't even for Call of Duty, it was for King. You know? Cause I went and got some stuff on Candy Crush because I had some Google Play points.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, this is how they getting folks. Cause they gonna make you spend $15 to get the extra soda pop and the extra them little chocolates with the candy that's nasty in real life, but they clear the board for you. You know? And that's just where it's at. They trying to get as much paper and make it make sense. But the word I think Sony needs to go and start buying some stuff. They needed to buy Square Enix and they made sure they put it on everything. That's where Sony messed up at. They could have bought. I don't think they would have bought Sega because they got Atlas, and that would have made it a monopoly. Mm-hmm. But they need to start buying people that's got the infrastructure so they can pull the money down. They thought Bungie was gonna be it, but Destiny is too niche of a game, and the community kept getting smaller and smaller because don't nobody want to grind for 15 hours just to get one funky tail gun. Like,
man, Sony they need to focus on their IPs, the ones that we've been asked for years, that they have right in the tuck that ain't doing nothing with.
Facts.
Like,
facts.
They need to stop touching these studios because I'm confused why they even bought Firewalk at this point. Like, I'm generally confused.
Well, we don't want them. We don't want them to like do new IPs. I'm back. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm back.
No, they can do it. They can do new IPs. Like Astrobot is a new IP. That was made for PS5. You know what I'm saying? They invested into other things like we got the and granted these not all first party, but you know we got the China Hero project. You know they invested in. They invested into Helldivers, which was a success. Not saying that, and I'm only mentioning Helldivers because it's a different type of online experience. You know I know it's a live service, but it's a different type. You know they what's the other? Of course they invest in the Final Fantasies, but like DJ Killzone was mentioned. You know they probably going to Xbox. Either way it go, yes they should bring new IPs. You know they had Days Gone, and in fact they probably should have made it. I never played Days Gone. I never played it, but from what people are saying, they should have brought back a sequel. Last of Us is not that old of an IP. It came out PS3 days, but it was till end of PS3. So like. Sony can still do new IPs, but what's the point of doing new IPs when you have IPs that you're not working with?
See, this is the thing is about their IPs though. So depending on what IP it is, right? People say I put a tweet about this the other day. People say we want Bloodborne back. 110% bring Bloodborne back. That will blow up. People say they want Killzone back. Now we have to remember Killzone, Resistance weren't high selling franchises back on PS3 era anyway. They wasn't doing the Call of Duty numbers. They wasn't doing none of these numbers back then. But that's what Sony wants numbers.
None
right?
of Sony
so
games were doing Call of Duty numbers. None of Sony.
None of Sony's games were doing the Call of Duty numbers. But that's what Sony wants now. So if you bring back that IP and that IP only sells 500,000 copies, I mean, we're gonna love it. Me, you, Killzone, Debbie, we'll all love it. But in their eyes, that's a failure. Just like in Square Enix eyes, Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth is a failure because they think that they're not making enough money off of it. Which we don't. I'm pretty sure people who want the game would buy the game, but would it give them enough money to warrant making that project?
No, and that's what I'm trying to tell Freddie.
But let me comment. Let me comment on that real quick, DJ Killzone, because I don't see nowhere in age where Killzone, I think Killzone is the weakest IP out of SOCOM and Resistance. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
But
everybody's entitled to their own.
Yeah, I don't see nowhere in any world where Killzone comes out and only sell 500,000 copies.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because this is the thing about it though, because Sony didn't stick with it, and they once they catch an L, they not like Microsoft where they gonna keep dropping. Like Microsoft had 3 L's in a row, debatably 4 if you want to say with Halo 4, Halo 5, the Master Chief Collection, and Infinite. But they still gonna make another Halo. Gears Judgment and Gears 4 didn't sell as well as Gears 3, but they made it up with Gears 5. See, these companies ain't same thing with Nintendo. They made Star Fox Zero and they made Shigeru Miyamoto put those stupid gyroscope controls in there when all we wanted to do was just play a more pretty version of Star Fox 64 that gave us the whole story. So it was basically giving you before it was a prequel to the first one and it brought you all the way through. So it was Star Fox before Star Fox the original. So you started off with his dad, the first, the second one, and Star Fox 64. That's all we want to do. They never patched that game. They just let it die. F-Zero, we just not getting the F-Zero because of the success of Mario 99 and Tetris 99. And depending on how well that did is when we going to get another F-Zero. You know what I'm saying? These folks ain't finna sit up here and keep putting money. It's just like, a restaurant. If the restaurant ain't making no money, they going to close that mug, man. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, like, but this a difference though between profit and expectation, because as we all say and as we all know, even myself included, Sony do want that Call of Duty. They want that Fortnite. But any game that they sell that does not equate to those numbers, in Sony eyes, that is a failure. If they had Black Myth Wukong as a first party game, Black Myth Wukong is reportedly sold, like 30 freaking million copies now. That still does not equal up to Call of Duty numbers. So in Sony's eyes, Black Myth Wukong as a first party game would be a failure. It's not Black Myth Wukong that's the problem. It's Sony that's the problem, not the game.
But it's not the Sony. It's not the problem. It's not the problem. They're getting money from their shareholders. So when you have people investing money into you, it's not Sony that's saying that. It's the people who they getting money.
It is Sony. It's no. Shareholders is not no. All shareholders want to do is gain a profit. Their shareholders are not the one. But that's DJ Killzone though. Shareholders are not the one pressuring Sony to make a Call of Duty. That is Sony. Sony is the one who want to be the money greedy. They want to be the one who look at other people's pockets and they want that instead of looking at their own selves. As long as the money is as long as their stocks increase, as long as the shareholders get money, that's all the shareholders want. No matter how you do it, that's all they want. Sony can do that and increase their stocks and get their shareholders more money by just doing what they need to do to make a profit. Sony wants the Call of Duty numbers, not the shareholders. Not us. That's Sony, and they're the problem.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the leadership. So now but the thing, like I said, that I like about Sony is that they get pow, and they decide, hey, we're going to change up the situation of the formula to where we can then end up course correcting. So they fired old boy who had them going down this path, and now the guys they got in there now are basically they're putting out what's finished. They stopping because that's unheard of that you would just stop a game dead in its tracks like that. But they did it because they said, you know what, we just gonna eat the loss on this and we gonna keep going. Because Sony ain't tripping. They not sitting up there worried about what Concord. That's us that's tripping off of what Concord doing.
If Sony is not tripping, then they are fools.
No, they not, because they so when you up like that, they not. That's like with Nintendo and the Wii U. They lost last generation. They was dead until they put the Switch. They came out in the middle of a generation and have been through 2 generations before they even had to think about putting the Switch 2. They could literally wait another year before they drop the Switch 2, even though they not.
DJ
but they gonna put it out.
You ever heard of the story of MC Hammer?
Yeah, but they not. That's different. Sony would have to burn through. Sony still get money and still get money off of the PS4. They
DJ Killzone. What's the next live service game coming out from Sony?
They stopped all of them.
Well, no, they didn't. What's the next live service game coming out from Sony?
What's the next one? What's the next one coming out?
Marathon. You know who make Marathon?
Oh, Bungie. Well, I mean,
Bungie.
But even with that, they said they rethinking that because the game director and stepped down.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Sony made a deal with Bungie already. The money transaction has already been made. It doesn't matter if Marathon comes out or not.
Know what's going.
But that's what I'm saying. You cannot be I don't care what you're doing. If it's business, if it's an art, once you become complacent, that's when you fail. Sony should, and I'm sorry, but yes, they are fools if they do not take this Concord situation seriously. Why? Because
no, they taking it seriously, but they not finna panic now. If the what you call them, if Marathon comes out and it bombs, which they already, because of Concord, they have already switched gears with this, Freddie. Is that they've taken over Bungie. They're clamping down on them. This is what came out. This is what they said. We're taking the studio over, because at first it was just a joint venture. They paid to have vested interest. Now they got majority ownership of Bungie. So
right, for something that they don't need. And most of Bungie's leadership team and half of their staff is gone. So they bought a studio for no freaking reason, because the talent is not even there no more.
Now they own Marathon and they own Destiny.
But who cares? Right. Destiny's not they literally said that Destiny has lost them so much money that it lost them most of the profits that they have gained throughout the years. In 1 year. Yeah. Sony has lost so much money. Sony has lost millions of dollars from Concord.
No, Bungie.
Hold up, just hit me out real quick, DJ Killzone. First Concord the game, they lost millions of dollars. They lost millions of dollars on this freaking team of Firewall, because now the director has stepped down. The people the talent. Let me not get on as much as the studio. Bungie, they lost so much money from the acquisition of Bungie, which wasn't even a real acquisition. And half of they people are not here. On top of that, you got Marathon that's coming out that's most likely not gonna sell nothing. So y'all done lost almost, let me just say 3.5. Forget, not even talk about the Firewall situation. I just named you 3 different actions that have each lost Sony millions of dollars upon a year.
There's one more. Last of Us on Fractions.
Last of Us Fractions.
Yeah. They canceled that, so they cut their losses on that. But that was already a part of the Last of Us 2 budget.
DJ Killzone, we literally are talking about losses going up to the billions now. Yeah. We are literally talking about we have not even seen $1 billion in our lifetimes. And we're talking about a company literally losing damn near $1 billion just wasted and lost within 3 years? That's a lot of money.
That's why I ain't worried. But see, that's why I ain't worried about it, because either they gonna fix it or Sony the way we know it gonna cease to exist. Right. And guess what? Xbox either gonna step up, Nintendo, Google, whoever because they talking about Apple and Google talking about stepping back into it. So I mean, you can buy whole games on the Apple on the new iPhones and the iPad and the So. You know what I'm saying? I don't panic when I see these things, because from a gameplay aspect, but it's still PS5 games I ain't played that came out. It's PS4 games I ain't played. That PS3, I can keep going.
Yeah, but that's just personal. That's just your personal situation. We talking about just gaming as a whole and what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying in the future. Yeah, but one thing we was talking, because we do gotta. We got. I don't want to keep. I do like hear your thoughts and everything, but we got some topics. We got a time frame. We gotta get out of here. Because we was just talking about.
Keep going. I was just making a statement.
Yeah, no problem. We were just talking about.
Go ahead, Fred. I was just making that statement.
Yeah, we was talking about some games that's on launching on PC. I'm sorry, I was trying to segue into that. That was actually a stupid ass segue. Deb, you go ahead with the next topic.
No, you had it. Hey, you. Let me go ahead and Final Fantasy 16 has launched onto PC, and with that rids the game of the blurry image quality and noticeably better frame rates.
This is exactly why I'm saying if Sony don't get their act together. I'm sorry, Beast, what you were saying?
They said it's supposed to keep up, right? It's supposed to keep up, right?
No,
So does that mean on the
same
PS5 Pro it's not going to be blurry? They said they got the GC, the GC,
The GPU?
Lord, yeah, they said they got that up to par. We're going to see. They talking a big game nowadays. So, you ain't shit, though. That's funny. He's like, so does that mean?
No, but I mean, this thing, like, if that's where Sony is trying to branch out to, and if they gonna really make the jump or the leap for it to make it happen, I mean, it's all about them figuring out what they gonna do. We gonna sit back, we the spectators, you know what I'm saying? And I'm with you, Freddie. I want to see Sony go back to its roots. I want them to start doing better and doing well with their stuff. But Sony gotta want to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is like your partner that you know that drink, right? Your partner drinking, you want him to stop drinking. He gotta want to stop drinking.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He gotta want to do great.
Yeah.
You know? So I ain't gonna be messed up about it. But Square, they messed up with Square because they could have had bought Square, let them put it. Hey, you can put it out everywhere. Same thing Microsoft doing with Activision. Put it out everywhere. It's like DMX. They've been eating long enough. Stop being greedy. So
facts.
Sometimes your greed will get in the way of progress. You know.
Go ahead and preach.
So no, I ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna have me do it.
Hey.
You say, hold on, we gonna have him stop. Just like in church, you had the guest preacher, and then he'd be like, hold on, Pastor, hold on. He be trying to bring it back up there, and he been and sat down, and the organ is playing. No, let's keep the stuff going.
Hey, real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna take over this next topic because I meant to put it afterwards. Sorry, Debbie, but and then Beast, if you wanna, if you got yeah, Beast, if you got any thoughts on this, definitely add on, Final Fantasy and everything like that. But Digital Foundry have critiqued a number of games running on the PS5 Pro through broadcast video. So this wasn't on, they don't have a PS4 Pro there, but so I'm saying all this, but just remember it's through broadcast video. So they critiqued a number of games, including Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Hogwarts Legacy, and have concluded that the PS5 Pro does improve image quality in performance mode, or at least versus the performance mode that was on the original PS5. And it also improves ray tracing. So these differences with the PS5 Pro and then the PS5 and quality mode or performance mode, the PS5 Pro is pretty much doing what it's saying. We don't know if these are like locked frame rates, if they are locked 60. We don't know if this is 4K native. We don't know the specifics, right? From their diagnosis though, and from the video, it is an improvement. It is an improvement over the blurriness in performance mode. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hogwarts Legacy, you got the ray tracing on the ground and everything with the shadows, and from the quality mode that was on the original PlayStation. So basically speaking, the PS5 Pro it is catching up to these higher end PC. Again, we don't have specifics from what we've seen from the video breakdown. There are noticeable changes. So, I guess what y'all thoughts on this?
That's a good thing. So, I always like a mid-generation refresh. I always like that. You have one console and then you fix the problems of the first console that you had. I like that. What I don't like is a $700 price point. That's the only thing I don't like. And the disk drive and the casing, but the performance is always needed. Go ahead.
Wow. the price, I think the price would not bother me if they included those. How are you not gonna have a stand or a disc? I'm still stuck. I know, I get it.
The same thing.
I get it.
Same thing
I wasn't
with me.
even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking about the Pro, but the freaking 30th anniversary. But ooh,
that's what I was telling you guys last podcast. I was saying that Sony originally did not want to release that PS5 at $500. They wanted to release that shit at $600.
Right.
So that's what they wanted. So what you think they was gonna do with the PS5 Pro? They was gonna release it with the cousin measures and the most profit, which is $700, no disk drive, no stand. So now all those PS5 games, shiny PS5 games that you ain't playing them, right? But I do, like I said, the performance was needed. But the only thing I would say about the performance is we still have not seen one company say we tapped into the limit of the PS5, the original.
Exactly.
Like we used to hear companies like Naughty Dog say, hey, on Uncharted 1 we use 30% of the power. On Uncharted 2 we use 80% of the power. Uncharted 3 we use I think it was Uncharted 3 they use 80% or 70%, whatever. On Last of Us we used all the bells and whistles of the PS5, PS3. We didn't hear one console owner say, game companies say, developers say that we used all the power of the PS5 yet. Not one. So that means that we don't know if Final Fantasy 16 was gonna be blurry or not. If they could have fixed it. We didn't know that Star Wars was gonna run at these sub frame rates. And the same thing with Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring was another one, right? That ran pretty bad. But I feel like it's a gimmick now. They say, okay, we're gonna release this system. Look how well Elden Ring runs on here. You can play Elden Rings with no frame drops. You know what I mean? Same thing with Final Fantasy 16. Keep saying 17, 16. Same thing with the other game, Star Wars. They're gonna say these things. This is a marketing tactic they're gonna use. What was the marketing tactic of the PS4 Pro? It was 4K, right? That was the resolution. But all games run at 4K on a PS4 Pro? It did not. It did not. A lot of the games ran at 1440p or less. So you have more power, but is the power worth the extra money? That's up to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most people gonna go ahead on and they just gonna get the regular PS5. This is for the hardcore of the hardcore, and the people that's hardcore PlayStation fan. They probably not gonna they're gonna make it at demand. They ain't gonna have a whole bunch of these out there. Same thing with the PS5. They said it was a shortage, but it really wasn't a shortage like that. They said that because they wanted to drive up the demand. That's the same thing during the pandemic. It was just, let's drive up demand by saying, hey, it's chip shortages, it's this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? Same thing Nintendo did forever. Nintendo continues. This go around, they said they're gonna make enough because they want to make sure that everybody has a Switch 2 that want one. But Nintendo is notorious of we gonna short it and say, oh, we only got. They came out the gate with that. So I don't think. The backlash is from the gamers, but for Christmas time, if people gonna go out there and buy consoles for their kids, everybody want a PlayStation, everybody want a PC. So if the parents ain't gonna buy a PC, what's the next best thing? That PS5. Regular PS5s out. Okay, I'll spend the extra to get the Pro, and I'm gonna give it to little Johnny, and I'm gonna give it to little Johnny. I'm gonna give it to little Stacy, and she gonna be cool, and she gonna play Call of Duty and Fortnite on, and that's just what it is. Like
extra
it's
200,
not.
You mean, by the way, not an extra 100.
Well, yeah, extra 200, and they gonna pay it because either that or they ain't gonna get it. Or they gonna get a PS4 like they've been doing because it's still a whole bunch of people that's still playing on PS4 to this day. The next Call of Duty is still gonna be on PS4. Fortnite still on because people they ain't upgrading. They're like, shoot, if my kids can play, or if I can play Call of Duty on PS4, why do I need a PS5? And so that's where we gonna go. Where same thing in this next generation, you gonna have people on PS5 because they gonna finally make everybody upgrade, and it's gonna be $200-300. maybe $400 to get the PS5 with the disc or without the disc, and people gonna upgrade because the TV's gonna upgrade. It's gonna look like we finally do make the jump to 8K. It's gonna look like a VHS, or it ain't gonna look like as bad as that. But you're gonna see the resolution go up, and people gonna want to have something that look decent on their TV. So they'll finally sell that PS4 for $100 or $200 and put it towards the PS5. And when PS6 come out, we gonna run and go get it, or we gonna stick with our PS5 until the price come down. And they okay with that.
That used to not be the thing. That used to not be the thing.
No.
PS1, when you got a PS1. You got a PS1. When you seen the big jump when you got a PS2. You seen the big jump when you had a PS3. They didn't really do too many cross-gen games back then either. They didn't release it on both. Maybe like the sport games and stuff like that they did, but a lot of the games weren't released on both. Now, when you went from PS3 to PS4, you kind of seen it a little bit, but not really. But when we went from PS4 to PS5, we see it all the time now, right? Why? But the reason why is that? Because we reached a graphical limit.
Yeah.
We reached a graphical limit that people don't see that much of a difference anymore. I can show my wife right now, right? Hey, this is The Sims. No, sorry. Let me give you a better example. This is Spider-Man 2 running on. I say Sims because she plays Sims. This is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man Miles Morales running on PS5, and this is it running on PS4. Something like that, or whatever. The original Spider-Man. She's not gonna notice the difference. She's not gonna notice the difference between. Nope. So, are we happy with the PS5's performance right now?
I ain't gonna lie. I disagree with that.
Downplay it?
I disagree with that because I do think that there's when it comes to the tech, as we keep advancing, there's not on paper even it's not gonna be that big of a jump, right? As we keep advancing. But I do think that, like, between PS4 and PS5, there is a noticeable, like, very noticeable, like, because I remember when I was playing on PS4, and I know I'm a gamer, right? I know, like, I'm a hardcore gamer, right? But I think even for, like, the core gamers or people that just don't play games at all, they're still, if you show them side by side, they will see the difference between a PS4 Miles Morales and a PS5 Miles Morales.
Well, it's performance.
Same screen.
It's a performance thing. Yeah, it's gonna be sharper. It's gonna have more. You're gonna have more the lighting and the textures, the rain, the water, all that.
And I think you can see that, like, cause the texture on Miles' suit is completely different. Like, you can actually see the texture on the suit on PS5.
Better, but consoles have finally caught up to PC in that, because that's how PCs were. It year over year, you saw it go up, gradually instead of over leaps and bounds. Like, if you really want to think about it, Half-Life always looked better on PC. What else that was on PC? I'm trying to think. Doom always looked better on PC.
Halo.
It was all Halo looked better. Well, the first two, because the first one, because did 2 come out on PC back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it looked better because you had the hardware to make it look better. But now the piece, since it's comparable to a mid-range or low-end PC, that's where we're at with it. Like, you can Call of Duty, you can notice every little detail on the gun when you hold it, when you're running around. You can notice when you in the levels, you can notice if you add certain levels, like the Burger Town, you notice the burger on the you can see the lettuce hanging off the burger, the cheese on the burger. Then when you shoot stuff, it pops up, and like I'm playing it right now, because when you said that, I booted it up. I'm shooting, like, I'm in one of I forgot the little snow level on Modern Warfare, so I'm shooting the little break area. I done shot everything over. I'm shooting the these boxes. I'm shooting the glass. Like, I can see all these little things that are in the level. I can see them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm shooting the lettuce that's on the ground. I can see all that stuff. That's the difference that we talking about. It's not like when we went from PS1 to PS2 to PS3 to even PS4, where we're seeing a marginal difference. What Euro is saying, it's not leaps and bounds no more. It's incremental changes.
Right.
Yeah. So Spider-Man 2 is gonna look better on PS5 because I can see the whole city before I jump down. Whereas I may have seen a few buildings, and then you look out, it's more statically or it's more of an image. No, on PS5, I can see the car all the way off in the distance. I can see the helicopter flying. I can see this and this and this over here. So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer gonna be a graphical leap unless they willing to spend even more money to get it to where it looks realistic or what. And we get there with AI. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if y'all ever watched them AI trailers, and I can send y'all some. In the last 6 months, they went from just being pictures to starting to move. Now they went from starting to move, they making the mouths move, the heads move, the backgrounds move. So I can see we can hit a graphical leap with AI because they're gonna be able to touch certain things up to where they couldn't do it before. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be able, like the PS5 Pro, we'll be able to see glimpses of what the PS6 might have to offer. But until we get there to where, you know, they were talking about in GTA 6 that they're gonna render every building, and every building is gonna have a family or whatever. Like if you pass in the apartments down on South Beach, you're gonna be able to see, you know, these people shooting dice, this couple getting ready to get it popping, and they closing the blinds. You're gonna be able to see that driving down in every building. That's what they talk about implement.
Yeah, but that's my thing though. Like I think the graphics wise, I think that's the biggest change from this gen to from last gen to this gen. Like when you went from PS1 to PS2, it was 3D. You know, or excuse me. Before PS1, so like Super Nintendo, you know what I'm saying, 2D planes, getting into like Nintendo 64, PS1, 3D, PS1 to PS2, not just regular polygons, but you know, more humanoid characters instead of just shapes. It's still shapes, but it don't look like just shapes. PS2 to PS3, more realism. PS3 to PS4, more
the details
more
for
smooth.
me.
Like it wasn't just like graphic fidelity, but they was using different techniques with the consoles. But yeah, that's I know that's nitpicking. I know what y'all saying. I know I'm just nitpicking at this point. But yeah, what's
it ain't nitpicking. It's getting there. It's gonna get to the point where you're going to see, like, I'm trying to think of the game. So we're gonna play GTA 6 or I'll say GTA 7. Let's just say in 10 years we'll be playing GTA 7, and you're gonna see, when you're driving, you're not just gonna see that person driving. You're gonna see that person bobbing their head to the music.
Right.
You're gonna see if it's a car full of people. If they finna do a drill, they're gonna be loading up them guns in the back seat. You're gonna be able to see all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's walking into a building, you're gonna see people opening up the door, holding the door. You're gonna see that's where we at now. It ain't gonna be like that big of a jump. It's gonna be little things like that. When we playing Call of Duty, you're gonna be able to see, like if you playing Warzone or playing Ground War, you're gonna see more, or even with Battlefield, you're gonna see more nuances on the battlefield. You're gonna see them if they shoot something with a tank hole in the wall or whatever, like it's gonna be there and it's gonna start falling.
Like,
yeah, a little bit of that.
And speaking of Battlefield, David, what's the next topic?
EA confirms details for the next Battlefield game. Reportedly, the game will return to modern settings with traditional classes instead of the specialists in Battlefield 2042. Production of the new game started early this year. What do you guys think will be the next Battlefield game, and what do you think the changes moving back to the older
They
game.
should have never added specialists in the first place.
Agreed.
I ain't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. As a person who used to play Battlefield before Call of Duty, you know, Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, Bad Company, not Bad Company 3, but Battlefield 3, the best one. Those games were like more fun, and they had a story to them too, and the stories were pretty good. If you go boot up Battlefield 3 right now, and you boot it up on your Xbox Series X, you don't even know the difference. If between that and the modern gen game right now, but like in certain moments, not every moment, but in certain moments. So I'm glad they moving back to the old style. We don't want to see just Call of Duty just take over everything. I liked it back in the day when you had Medal of Honor, Battlefield, Call of Duty, you know, all competing for that same spot. Am I missing one? I don't think so. But if they come back, then, you know, I like that style too. You don't always have to have a Call of Duty style, because, you know, Call of Duty is more archaic, and Battlefield's more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you this from a person that what was my question? From a person that liked that played Battlefield a lot, wouldn't you say that the classes, not just a core part of Battlefield, but that's kind of what made Battlefield Battlefield? Like, of course, the destruction, but besides destruction, it would be the classes, right? Like, when you play the game, when you play Battlefield,
because they gave you a sense of purpose.
Yeah, my bad. I think it's a delay on both our ends. But yeah, what was you saying, Beast?
Yeah, that's why I keep sounding like I'm interrupting you, but it sounds like you stopped. I was saying that, yeah, when you play Battlefield and you had the classes, you had one person who was just straight recon, right? And he would have his role. And then you have somebody who was who were they using? An infantryman or whatever. I forgot the name of it. And then you had an engineer. I was always an engineer. That was fun. That was like the basic core of it, because, hey, you're the engineer, you go blow that helicopter out the sky, you go take these tanks out, do something. So if you have a whole bunch of engineers, they take it out. Versus the class, the specialists, I didn't like them specialists at all. That ruined the whole game. Plus, that game wasn't even that good. And you thought you were smart enough to release it without a single player. You know, some people still play those type of games with single player.
Well, I think they did that because my boy had passed from the wire. What's his name? Dang. Let me look him up real quick, because I keep forgetting his name. What was his name?
I forgot his name too. I keep thinking of Lance Reddick, because that's I
don't know his name, but I know
Kenneth Williams. Michael Kenneth, when he died, because he was supposed to be the head of the operative group or whatever. So when he died, that kind of messed up they probably still had to go back and record some stuff or re-record some lines or add some. So they just said, you know what, he just to honor him, we're gonna just do it like this, because if we try to have this without him, it's not going. We got to bring somebody else in. It's the same thing with Lance Reddick, and now you got Keith David and Destiny. Like, they had enough with him to where they could switch it over, but it wasn't so much to where they didn't that they couldn't put it out. So I think they didn't have enough, and then they just when it was all said and done, they ran out of time, and that was just it. But
I don't think that was the reason why they changed the classes, though.
No, not the class. I'm talking about the story mode.
Oh, okay.
That could have. They never came out and said it, but that's what I'm thinking, because there's no other reason, because it was all there. Like, they had the cinematics, they had all of that there, so there was no reason for them not to come out with that. But to their credit, they stuck with the game, and the community has kind of stuck with the game too. So I'm in the game right now. It's not dead by no means. I jumped straight into a game. I'm playing it on I don't even have it downloaded. I'm playing it on the cloud too.
Yeah, people still definitely playing it. But it's just it don't feel like Battlefield. Like, it feel like the soul of Battlefield has just been taken away from it, though. Cause like
You know, I really did like that. Was
yeah,
one of
they can go back. They can go back to the base. They definitely got to go back to the base. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, like it was just like when I would play Call of Duty and go to Battlefield, and I did like Battlefield too. I don't know. I guess I'd say I was more of a Call of Duty person, but long story short, like it was for me it was the destruction, and then honestly, when people were teaching me more Battlefield, like I always soloed. I always played gang solo queue. So when people would like teach me like randoms, whatever, would teach me tips and tricks and introduce me to Battlefield, mostly everybody would be stuck on the classes because that's what made made it a tactical shooter. Without the classes, it's just like, what is Battlefield then? Is it just destruction? Like, is it just Frostbite engine? So like I just truly feel like the soul was taken away from it, in which there's still essence of that soul there, because you can still use the same classes as you use in the regular Battlefields. It's just that you can kind of customize it more and you can combine it, but then it's not classes no more. You're just making different loadouts at that point, which is it gets more to so it's basically a big ass Call of Duty Warzone map, with more destruction. You get what I'm saying? So those classes, like, in my opinion, and not just from my personal opinion, but for, like, every time I talk to Battlefield predominantly players, that's what made Battlefield. Even if people don't necessarily say it like on the internet or anything like that, So yeah, I can't wait. All right, what's the next topic, Debbie?
Okay, the next discussion shall be. Okay, sorry. Hold on, let me turn my cam back on. Sorry, Okay. After Nintendo's recent copyright lawsuit went against the Chinese company that reportedly ripped off character designs for their Pokemon IP, Nintendo is now suing Power World for something similar. Ever since the launch of Power World, gamers have expressed their opinions about how similar Power World's characters are. How similar Power World's characters are to the likes of Pokemon, bringing in the phrase "Pokemon with guns" to the forefront. Nintendo is accusing Power World creator Pocket Pair of infringement of multiple patent rights. And so what do y'all guys think about that? I think somebody said, I did see somewhere else that they think that where they're saying it is the catch mode, but for real?
No. First of all, what was the name of the company? What was the name of the company? Pocket what?
Pocket
Pocket Pair.
Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair.
Pocket Pair is the name of the company that makes the Power World. The people who make the designs of Pokemon, Pocket Monsters. See the name?
Oh,
So the name sounds exactly the same. Pocket this, pocket that.
Yeah.
Wait,
Look
really?
at the designs of the
You talking about for Nintendo?
Yeah.
Their name is Pocket Monster.
That's what I'm talking about.
What?
Well, there's this Pocket Pair.
The original name of Pokemon was called Pocket Monsters.
Oh,
that was the original name of Pokemon.
I forgot about that.
So they blatantly just said. See, okay, so they blatantly. So why are they so confused? Because they're literally saying that we truly unfortunate Nintendo lawsuit. We don't even know what patent they're speaking of.
You could just
they didn't know about the patents, that the specific patents that they had on that genre. Because this is the thing about it. It's been a lot of people who made Pokemon clones, but they never profited. And then there are certain games that are kind of similar. Because real talk, Dragon Quest was doing that before Pokemon did.
DJ Killzone, we is not finna defend this.
It's just that
We is not finna defend this, bro. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. I'm finna be rude today. I'm finna cut you off, bro. We not finna defend this, bro. Look, matter of fact, I'm finna pull up these photos. You ain't gotta be no business. You ain't gotta be in school. You ain't gotta be nothing, bro. Matter of fact, I can't.
I know they did it. But they did it.
They blamed it on AI. They blamed it on AI. They said that the AI is the one that made it, and if the AI is not gonna make something out of thin air unless it's copying something else.
Exactly.
They have to
now,
they did a lot of stuff.
Bruh, it's this link.
They did it.
I can't. DJ Killzone. No, we not finna do this. DJ Killzone. I'm sorry. I can't put it on the podcast right now. I'll probably put it on the video later when I upload it.
What we're not gonna do.
Bruh, there are 40 examples. 40.
No. Nobody did this.
Huh?
I know they did it, but they did it on purpose because they knew that this was coming. That's the whole thing. You gotta play crazy in court. You can't just
So you gotta play crazy in court.
You gotta play crazy in court. Like they're gonna either pay the fines, or what's gonna happen is they gonna sell to Nintendo, and Nintendo gonna have all of that technology and that experience that them people did. But this is what it is though. Nintendo wasn't finna do all the stuff that Power World was doing. The guns aside, but everything else, the base building, the concept, the different concepts that they introduced, the world, all of that stuff that they did that Pokemon could have did is forcing their hand. So yeah, we gonna take you to court. Yeah, they gonna have to pay. But look at what the last few Pokemons did. Look how lazy they was put together. You know what I'm saying?
That's besides the point. Right? That's totally besides the point. The end of the day, there's a company that ripped off another company. There's a company that actually copied for damn near verbatim so many details of another company's character. Nintendo is going to win this lawsuit because there's way too many examples in this game that looks like Pokemon. And it's one article, there are 40. And I looked at every single Pokemon. I mean, of course, I looked at we've seen this. We've seen Power World before now, right? But there are 40 characters that look exactly the same. Not if it was just one or two, Power World could get away with this, but 40.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that's
40 characters.
They did it on, but I'm telling you, Craig, they did it on purpose because now it's either one or two things is gonna happen. It's gonna force Nintendo hand to be better, or they just gonna buy them out or shut them down. One or two things is getting ready.
What you mean? What you mean force Nintendo hand to be better though?
Because the last few Pokemon games had ran poorly. They ran poorly. They didn't have all the same features as the other one. They changed stuff people like. A lot of people complained about how those games came out. So, that's why I'm saying they had to come along to give them competition. It's like EA with Madden and Madden and what you call it? NFL 2K back in the day. It's like NBA 2K and NBA Live. It's the same thing. So, but the only difference is we talking about Pokemon and not sports.
All right. Now I get and granted, yeah, for us as consumers, we're gonna benefit because, yeah, it may put a little bit more steam under Nintendo to make their game, to make their Pokemon get better. But let me backtrack. This is going to benefit the consumers, yes, but this does not put any steam under Nintendo at all whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, Nintendo is just about to profit from doing nothing. Granted, yes, they got to go to court and everything. They got to pay lawyers, but they finna get all that stuff back because the lawyers' fees and all that going to be paid from Power World.
So basically speaking, Nintendo is just about to profit off it just for really nothing, just because somebody else took your products. Nintendo gonna win this. This is easy. Yeah, they have won. Nintendo have won challenging cases. This one is a easy case. They gonna easily win this, and they finna get so much money from this because Power World. Well, it was free to play, right? If I'm not mistaken. No, you had to pay for Power World. Yeah, Power World wasn't even free to play. You had to pay for it. So they finna get all that money that Power World got. Matter of fact, Power World may even lose money. They may have to owe money at that point because it's such an easy case to win. And I'm not even a lawyer, but just from basic law, basic infringement rights, Power World's in deep trouble. Like this wasn't something to just play around with, and people saw it coming. Like as soon as Power was announced, people were confused. They're like, I was confused. I'm like, why does Pokemon have guns? Bro, what is this? Like, this is great. Oh, hold on, DJ. Let me change this layout real quick. But yeah, like, as soon as it launched, everybody already saw what was coming. Bruh. I can't wait to... Matter of fact, this case might be resolved within the next 2 weeks. Probably even before that. Probably within the next couple of days. Those they get, them freaking racist Pokemon.
Yep, it's an easy case to win.
Y'all got any more thoughts on that?
No, because everybody's seen this coming from conception. Like, I feel like if they didn't have that lawsuit already against the other company, they would have jumped in this. This would have been, we would have had this in the courts and stuff already. But they waited for them to win their coins from somebody else copying them so that they could say, hey, y'all thought y'all was slick, now I can focus all my attention on you.
Legit.
So we'll see whose lawyers.
I was wondering too why it was taking them so long to sue. Like I was legit. I thought it wasn't gonna happen because I was like, oh, so Nintendo's just accepting this. Okay, maybe it's mine. I don't know. I guess. I didn't know that they was going through another case though, and that's why they waited. That's
any infringement on a Nintendo franchise, they're gonna do that.
Nintendo gonna always come for their coins.
Anybody like who's doing ROM hacks, anything of the sort, Nintendo, we call them the Nintendo ninjas because they coming for you
immediately. Well, it's as soon as they're able to, should I say? Because we thought this was gonna be immediate, but they said we had to handle our back end before we come see you.
Right, exactly, and this is where the conversation that they had earlier about the IPs and stuff like that. Nintendo doesn't play about their IPs because their IPs are the only thing that sell Nintendo. Nobody's going to Nintendo for a third-party game. Not like that. You might go for PlayStation, you might go for Xbox, Call of Duty. Ain't nobody's playing Call of Duty on the Wii.
Well, hold on now. Because, Nintendo, we segueing on in. Nintendo about to have some good action. If the leaks is true about the Nintendo 2 Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks, they say they're trying to compete with how the PS4 powers, and then they said that so they got 12 gigabytes of the LPDD R5X RAM, 2 internal cooling fans, and a modern NVIDIA GPU architecture with the DLSS that could see performances close to an Xbox Series S. First of all, do you believe the specs? Do you think that what are you thinking? Y'all into the smoothness of everything?
I got two things. Okay, 2 things. 1, if they don't do these 2 things, this console's a failure. If they do not call this the Super Nintendo Switch, it's a failure. That's number 1.
No, he was about to say that.
Number 2, if it does not have DLSS, it's a failure. Why? Because 1 is perfect. Well, both of them are perfect. Super Nintendo Switch Legacy it makes sense. It's most likely gonna have a similar design, just gonna be more powerful. Super Nintendo Switch, boom. End of the day, if they don't take advantage of it, I will never buy a Switch. 2.
Dang, that's harsh, but I mean, I respect you.
If Nintendo are smart enough to win these lawsuit cases and everything like that, they better be smart enough to name this console Super Nintendo Switch, bro. Come on. 2. DLSS is literally perfect for a Switch because the only problem that people have with Switch are the online functions and the performance. Those are the only 2 issues that people have with the Switch. Literally. So if you doing the exact same, and this is what I'm talking about with Sony. If Sony would have did this, they would have been in a better position. If Nintendo literally does the exact same thing that they've been doing, putting out great games, not having to utilize a highly powerful console to do that, just put out the great games, use DLSS as a cheat code to improve performance on these games, you're gonna be selling more than the Switch, and the Switch is already sold. People still gonna be on the first Switch too. So I truly believe they can outsell the first one. I truly believe it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be honestly hard. But with DLSS and they keep bringing out bangers, which I can't really talk as much because I haven't played a Nintendo Switch game. So give or take, this is just me speculating from other people, what other people been saying. But if they keep doing what they're doing, they're gonna be able to surpass the Switch. And I said it here. I know it's gonna be a tough battle, but I believe it's possible.
Okay.
All right, so
it's the chuckling for me.
So we took the Switch too. So the main thing that the Switch did, which we have to always congratulate the original Switch for, is actually let us play console games on our handheld. It was one of the first devices that let us do it. Legit. Right? Had that NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip in there, and that thing did wonders. They made that chip from back then last all the way up until now. 2 generations, right? Performance, it was optimized. So imagine optimizing, and we're talking about Nintendo, who doesn't even drive on power specs or anything like that. They don't say we're the greatest, strongest, best, most powerful. They don't care about that. They just make games, right? So you mean to tell me what are they gonna do with the Switch 2 when that comes out? Like you said, DLS, all that memory, that was a big problem in the Switch. The biggest problem in the Switch was the memory. You could not, you had to deal with that. I think 4 gigs of memory, if I'm mistaken. I think it was 4. Pretty sure it was 4 gigabytes of memory. If you guys can fact check. And it wasn't that fast either. So Switch 2 specs. If these are the specs, it's perfectly fine. That's all you need. They're not making no games that look like a Horizon or anything like that anyway. Backwards compatibility. Run all the old Switch games that had problems running. Bayonetta 3, Tears of the Kingdom. We can go on forever and ever. Make those games run at 60 on that. Fix the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons is garbage, but fix those Joy-Cons. And yeah, you got it, But one thing that Nintendo does that makes them get these sales too, everybody, is that they have multiple SKUs of consoles during the generation. Not like a PS5 and then there's a newer version of the original PS5, right? With a smaller cooling unit or whatever, not like the launch. They do Switch Lite, Switch OLED. That dragged it on out so that they can get the numbers that they got. Just like they did with the DS, DS Lite, DSi. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they get these numbers. They don't just release it. I mean, especially with their handhelds. I don't know about their regular systems, but their handhelds, they stretch it out. So Fred might be right with it might outsell the Switch 2. I mean, Switch 1.
That definitely will. It definitely will, though. Because everybody's complaints is y'all keep giving us the games that we can play on the Switch, but it can't perform well on the Switch. Laggy, dropping. So if you get a Switch that has a stronger GPU, it has better handling of these stronger games, they're gonna it's gonna be I can give Nintendo all the credit in the world. They know what they be doing. Like, their longevity needs to be studied. Because it's like they don't do too much. They don't try to do too much. They don't try to like win you over with gimmickiness or none of that. They're straight.
Oh, yes, they do.
I mean,
yes,
like,
they do.
I'm saying, like, they're not gonna sit here and say we're gonna make it so that this is the strongest performing thing on the Switch. They're not trying to like.
No, they do their own thing.
Yeah, they don't give you a false dream. You can see what you see is what you get.
Right,
but
right.
I'm ready for this. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited because this is the year of the snack console getting, because I just have plans to like get the newer generation, because when you've been around from the beginning of conception of gaming, I don't care who you are, it's a good thing to see the advancements from when we first started. All we had was the little square box with there's 2 red buttons and a toggle. So now look where we're at now. I'm excited.
Yes. Remember, guys, Switch paved the way to all these gaming PCs that everybody's playing on right now.
Legit.
Paved the way for every single one of them. So,
Definitely.
Switch is that's a console that Nintendo needed, because that Wii U was not it, and that's why I was talking about.
If we're gonna talk about some things, I miss Rock Band, and I miss the Def game, the rap game, man. If they would fight through if they could fight through the copyrights and stuff, do you know how much fun it would be to have the games that we used to have?
Legit, like all this
before everybody wanted all the day. Give me my money.
Yeah, give us our games back.
Everybody's like, give me my money.
Hey, Debbie's gonna name her Switch too Tiny.
Yep.
Hey,
you wanna know something funny? I was my mom, cause it went.
You good? I'm sorry.
You okay? Okay. Before I switched to being an iPhone user, I was all about the Samsungs. So I had the Samsung tablet. It was the Tab 2 at the time. And then I had my Samsung phone. So I under my phone, you can change the name. I named my phone Marsh, and then I named my tablet Mellow. I'm cheesy like that. You ain't saying nothing, Beast. You ain't saying nothing. I'm the cheesy one that will name my devices and stuff. Like my PC is named Snack Attack. Stop playing with me.
Snack Attack.
Hey, you should like engrave that or like put like a emblem on it. On your PC on the side of it.
Snack Attack. Like, I'm Snack Attack. Holla at your
This
girl.
is Debbie's computer. Snack Chat.
Debbie's Snack Attack.
All right, real quick. I'm kind of mixing up. Because I know we're supposed to be out of here, like right now, actually. So, This next topic, we combine these two, but Jeff Grubb speculates that the next state of play from PlayStation is set to be September 24th, where PlayStation will focus on first-party games. How do y'all feel about this rumor? Do y'all think it's gonna come to fruition? So that's next Tuesday.
They love their gameplay.
I mean, but this is a state of play, not a PlayStation showcase, right? Because there's a difference.
Correct.
State of play.
Just keep expectations low.
I do think it's gonna happen though, because it's on a Tuesday, and it's usually they.
I have to do that. I have to do. I'm sorry. Going up on a Tuesday.
Now, from what I heard though, we heard the Horizon Forbidden West crap news that's gonna be. I hope that's not the star of the show, because if that's the star of the show.
It's great. It most likely will be.
But that's the thing I'm saying. This is a PlayStation state of play. This is not a showcase. We don't know what the hell Sony's working on. When's the last time you heard something from Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Gorilla, Santa Monica? We didn't hear nothing from them.
No lie detected.
Besides now you talking about the Horizon Forbidden West remake rumor that somebody nobody wants that. Legit. Nobody wants that. So I don't.
Yeah. Reports are saying it's a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. So the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster has been rated for PS5 and PC. So we know that is true. We know that it's coming. We know that it's actually ready to be released. Damn near, because all of the content is there for a rating. Now, there's also a Days Gone remaster rumor that just came about. So that one just came up. That can be just a rumor just because of the Horizon one. But now there's still a rumor. Horizon Zero Dawn remaster was a rumor for a number of years now. So now it's coming to fruition. It's coming to light. This Days Gone remaster could be true too. However, this state of play is not needed, in my opinion. It's a waste of time. Sony is wasting our time. Only way I will accept this state of play is if, one, we get a PlayStation showcase sometime. I don't even care if it's next year, beginning of the year, March or whatever, like they did that last PlayStation showcase, which is kind of crazy. I like the PlayStation experience, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the year, but they don't want to keep doing that, forget it. As long as we get a showcase sometime soon, sometime. As long as we get a showcase before this time next year, I'll be okay with this. And two is if they are showing us CGI, if they want to show us like almost like what Gears of War did this summer, where they just showed us CGI of the setting, like what it's gonna be placed in and the time frame and the title. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with your first showing being that. And if they want to have that first showing for like their next Naughty Dog game, the next Sucker Punch game, if they want to have a cinematic for it, sure, put it in a state of play. You know what I'm saying? Put a CGI trailer into it. We know it's coming, cool. But I need them to have a showcase where they are showing off these games. And that's the only way I accept this state of play. If it's not specifically happening like that, this is a waste of time. I don't want to hear from Sony at this point. And I'm sorry I'm being this person when it comes to Sony, but I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I'm so tired of Sony right now. I need them to really I really just need them to step up.
Yeah, ain't no reason to step up when Xbox ain't doing nothing either. So it ain't nothing for them to step up to.
Yeah, but they still
the same, and we definitely don't need it.
And this is coming out of PlayStation mouth too. They say their competition is PC now, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, well, or at least
I don't understand that.
Well, see, I understand it now because of me. Like, fuck Sony at this point. Like, I'm finna be a PC gamer at this point. If y'all keep doing these moves, like, yeah,
it is 3:04. I would like to put a second notation on. His this is crazy to me. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the second time that he has with his full chest poked out bass said fuck Sony. I just want to put it on the record.
Yo. I didn't even know she was even keeping count.
Man, it's just like, come on, Sony, man, come on.
And also with that Days of Gone remaster, we don't want a Days of Gone remaster. We want a Days of Gone 2. Legit. That's what we want. We don't want a Days Gone remaster. You already got a PS5 patch and a PC version of it. I'm not gonna say fuck Sony. I'm gonna say fuck all the companies because they all do the same thing. But when it comes to the remasters, they all do the same shit to me. People want to argue, oh, Sony's the one that king of remasters. Nintendo king of remasters too. Those Xbox, all of them.
At least give us what we want though. Like, bro, who is asking for Horizon? Nobody cares about Aloy. Even the people that like Aloy. And I actually kind of like Aloy. I'm going to be real with you. She's wooden, but I don't have no problems with her.
She's boring as fuck. She's boring as hell.
Nobody cares about her. Nobody. People was asking for The Last of Us. Where is it at? Factions. Where is it at? Money. Where is it at? Where's my freaking PlayStation All Stars? You can and see the IP like PlayStation All Stars. You can do so many things with. You don't even got to make it a fighter no more. You can make it a mobile. You can make it a shooter. You can make anything. Where is that at? Nobody's asked for Horizon. Nobody asked for a Days Gone remaster. Everybody want a sequel for Days Gone. Everybody want a remaster of Bloodborne. And then Days Gone is not even like it sold money, but it didn't sell Horizon numbers, so that kind of just blow my that just blow my previous.
They was happy with that though.
Who?
Sony was happy with the Days Gone sales. They wasn't happy with the reviews. How it reviewed when it first came out.
That's true. So yeah, it does make sense. But like, well, at least from Sony's point, I'm saying from Sony's point, but it's just like it's so many things that y'all could be doing that make you money. Because at the end of the day, we're not asking y'all this because we think y'all are friends. We ask y'all this so we can give y'all some freaking money. Like we're trying to put money in your pockets, you know. And I know that not all consumers know because I've worked with marketing and trying to push these products out for the consumer with these different companies, including Sony. So I understand that not all customers or clients will actually know exactly what they want. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta tell them what they want. Sometimes you gotta put a product in their face and explain to people what they want. But at the end of the day, you can't do that with every single thing. You can do that with some IPs you have. Not every single product you can do that with. We're telling y'all what products we want, and y'all not giving this to us. So why should we continue to spend our money? And it's reflecting. Concord literally just shut the freak down. Marathon will be doing the exact same thing, and nobody's gonna buy that. So that's gonna shut down. Bruh, it's happening. Like the actions are being taken. History is being made.
I feel like this is a simple fix.
It's simple. Very simple. Just do what the freak you need to do
The
so
reason
you
why
get money.
The reason why I say that is like 1 week the internet's mad at Sony, the next week the internet's happy at Sony, the next week they're mad at Sony, the next week they're happy at Sony. Like they know this. I feel like they know this. I feel like they know they have Bloodborne in their back pocket. If it gets too bad, like we hate Sony, Bloodborne remaster, everybody shuts up. That's how I feel. I feel like they know it.
And that's why I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going through this roller coaster with a company. Like, Sony, you're not my girl. Sony, you're not someone who I'm trying to raise. You know what I'm saying? You're not a kid. You're not my kid. I'm not trying to do this with a company. I'm just trying to be entertained. And you're not, and I'm going on a roller coaster of a freaking not really truly emotions, but still like I'm just going on all of us are going on a roller coaster with you. We're not trying to do this, bro. Just give us what we want. But yeah, I'm just tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of it. But yeah, that's me. I guess that was my little venting session at this point. But let's do our outros. It was a very good podcast, y'all. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all the guests. DJ Killzone for coming through earlier, giving all his opinions. Definitely always appreciate Debbie and Beast for being here, being dedicated, and definitely check out their channels because Beast has been going crazy with the videos. Debbie has been so consistent with live streaming, and definitely check out all her other ventures too because she doesn't just do gameplay. So go follow them. But yeah, we can do our outros, y'all.
I'm going to slide up in here. You know, I started out last. I'm going to head on here and be first. I'm Debbie Snacks. You can find me on Debbie Snacks 85 on Twitter, Debbie_Snacks.gaming on social media, and Debbie_Snacks on consoles. And also like, follow, and share because these guys, they're very informative. I love being a part of this podcast because they be informing me and I can help inform y'all.
Yes, it's your boy, Hero Beast. Very good podcast today. Very good podcast. You know, Freddie bumped his chest a couple of times on the screen and said, fuck Sony. I like that a lot. I'm going to have to make a t-shirt actually out of that and put it there. But anyways, I always appreciate being on the podcast with Freddie JK. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys can always find me at Hero Beast. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I'm taking a little break right now. I'll be back full force right now. And yeah, that's my outro.
Oh, this is me. I'm sorry. This is Freddie J Gameplay. Catch me on Twitter X or YouTube. You can follow me on any social media platform at Freddie J Gameplay. Actually, besides TikTok, don't ever follow me on TikTok. I don't like that place. No disgrace to it because it's a funny place. Follow me on all social media platforms at Freddie J Gameplay. If you want to keep up to date with me, catch me on YouTube or Twitter X. I'll definitely be updating everybody with anything that's going on with me with Twitter X, and then YouTube. You can follow the live stream on Twitter X. If you want to tune in to all the videos, not necessarily watch the live stream, but just want to watch all of the topics individually, definitely follow the YouTube. Follow my co-hosts Beast and Debbie. But yeah, give feedback, like, comment, subscribe, or like, comment, subscribe. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next week.